So thank you guys so much for taking the time to be here. We got Tectonic representing from Xtrack ERC, ticker symbols Xtrack. So thank you to everybody from their community to come out and supporting your founder here. And then from everybody here in the Caesar's Call side of things, if you have to jump out at any point throughout the AMA or maybe not able to get your questions answered, you can always catch the recording back on our YouTube channel. I know the founder here, Tectonic, is going to be putting it on their YouTube channel as well, or just jump into the community from the question perspective to get anything you may have answered. But again, really excited to have Xtrack here. So this chart that you guys will see is a relaunch. They went live again on December the 10th. So pretty, as to be expected with relaunches, oftentimes you see a little bit of a sell-off. Team hasn't been really pushing a ton of marketing since the relaunch, which I think is good because they're focused more so on the development. Personally, right now the space is in a little bit of a weird state. People would rather ape like a live new pair on Solana than like trying and find a project that's been around for a while and actually building. So like you guys definitely check like the box for me of what I look for in a project is, are there live utilities? Yes. Is it easy to use? Yes. Is it easy to register? Like, are there too many steps in the sign-up process? No. And is the chart fairly undervalued? Like, what's the liquidity like to the market cap? You guys have about a 20% liquidity ratio, which is really strong for a utility project, especially on Ethereum. So again, you guys have built up a suite of tools that allow users to track, find alerts, custom reports, just pretty much anything on Twitter, now known as X. And you guys are also going to be building up, I understand from kind of chatting with you, some additional social feeds in the future. You guys can find all of the utilities housed on their main Telegram portal for Xtrack ERC. So that would be kind of my first place to start when you're checking them out. They have a few hundred followers on their trending service, and that's the one personally that I can't wait to talk a little bit more about. So yeah, Tectonic, again, it's a interesting suite of utilities that you guys have built out. I'm definitely going to be focusing a little bit as we go through understanding the connection from the Xtrack token to the ecosystem of, breaking down what some of those premium or holder specific utilities would be versus some of the free to use tools that you guys are offering. But yeah, very impressed by just the staying power that you have and your attitude towards everything. That is, for me, what I think stood out the most in our prep is your mentality and kind of just your approach. You're like, listen, man, we had to relaunch. It was for the good of the project, but we definitely took some things on the chin. I believe in what we're building. It's definitely undervalued in my opinion. And like, that's the kind of dedication and passion you need from a founder. So I love your attitude. I'm not a chart guy, so we won't really spend much time there outside of saying that I know you haven't really pushed a ton of marketing since the relaunch and just been focused on the building. So, with that being said, everybody take the time to tune in, join their community, test the tools. But I am pretty excited to get this broken down a little bit more further because, again, looks very undervalued based on your runtime and what you're offering for where the cap is. So those really excite me for sure. So Tech, floor is yours.
All right, so I'll give a little bit of the background and the vision of the project, like you mentioned before. So my background is a trader, right? Trading is my bread and butter. I traded NFTs and I traded DeFi. Have done pretty well for myself over the 3.5 years that I've been trading, and I attribute a lot of that success to the utilities that I use, right? Whether it be an NFT mint bot or the feeds that let me know when someone was buying something. Utility is like what has helped me make the profits that I've made. So the one thing I've always noticed though is that even if you had the biggest brain dev, they'd stick to one singular utility and that would be it. And they'd milk it for all it's worth. And then they'd move off, they'd ride off into the sunset. And that would be the end of that. And then those same devs would go off and build another utility, right? And I never understood. I'm like, you could build everything under the same roof and you'd probably have a project that would have a lifespan that's been unseen before, right? As long as you keep building, more people will keep coming. It's just, that's the way it works. So that's why I decided to make Xtrack, because I wanted a utility that I could have everything under one roof. Everything works like seamlessly together, right? Even with all your utilities, you got to steal the contract from here. You got to paste it into Banana or whatever sniper bot you're using. Then you got to see how many people are looking at sniping this, right? It's a process, right? Whoever does that faster, right, is the better trader. Well, if you have everything under one roof, that process can be cut down to nothing, right? You can do things way faster than all this different tech working together. So that was the idea for the project. So I said, let's start with Twitter utility, because the API cost had gone up, right? Elon is charging insane prices for his API, and a lot of Twitter tools went off the market just for that. So I said, there's a space here. Let's start with this, right? That'll be our foundation. And then once we have that perfected, we'll start building into other areas of utility instead of just leaving and going to do another project like 99% of the space does. So that's the vision for the project. The roadmap, we had our original plan, our foundation, right? But the roadmap is dictated by the community. Too many times have I been a community member making suggestions to the founder, and I felt like I wasn't heard when I knew my suggestion would really benefit that project, whether it be a utility or a meme coin, right? And it's insulting to know that, you could be doing something beneficial for your own bags and the project and everybody around you, but the founders just won't listen to you. So in this project, I listen to everybody, right? A lot of these ideas that we've already implemented and built in our project have been community suggestions. We have our own ideas we think up and we start working on, but as the community suggests things like, hey, we'd like to see this, we'd like to see that, we put it to a vote, they vote on the top things, and then we start working on that so that we can incorporate their ideas and make this a tool truly by the community for the community. So that's kind of the vision and the background of the project, and why it came about. Because there's a hole, right? There's a hole in the space for a project that actually wants to build every utility, right? We started with Twitter. That's not all we're going to do. The dev is working on a sniper bot already in the background, and the sniper bot has features that many other sniper bots don't have. Can't get into them though, because people like to take ideas. So when it's released, you guys will see those features. You'll be like, that's what he was talking about. So yeah, we got lots of stuff cooking. So we're not just going to be Twitter. I want to make that absolutely clear. We're going to have contract deployment feeds. We're going to have influencer rankings based on the volume they move after their call. We have lots of stuff cooking in the background, and slowly but surely we push an update. And that idea that we're talking about today is now a reality, and we move on to the next. So that's kind of how the project works, my friend Maurice. I don't know if you want to get into anything in specific, but
there are a few things like that you kind of mentioned in your intro that obviously I wanted to jump through. 100% agree with you in terms of the, I'll call it centralization of the utilities in one location, just because of the fact that I come from a sales background. And I always say this to projects, like as you guys are building up your flow or your workflow, deal flow, however you want to define it, the more click-throughs, the more stages somebody has to go through, the more landing pages somebody has to hit, you're losing like 10 to 15% of your potential audience or pool every time you send them through a new portal. So I did want to say, like, what your mentality and your reasoning behind the centralization of the utilities makes so much sense, because if you're really getting to try for people to use and stay within Xtrack, like that's how you do it. If, like, for example, I know some projects who have 4 or 5 utilities, but utility A is in this location, utility B is in this location, and the ability to go seamlessly from one to another is not very functional. So that, great identification, I guess, of what a problem is that exists currently in the space, and not just the space, but sales or any type of funnel building activity, is the more click-throughs, the more you're going to lose. I think it's 6 portals or more, you're down to about 5 to 7% of your potential target. So, like, you're spending all that time marketing, and then if you have 4 windows somebody has to go through, you could maybe get 15% of what you were potentially pooling in through your actual spend, right? So I love your identification of that, and it's not just a project that, or a problem that affects crypto for sure.
Completely agree with that, my friend. Yeah. So if you want, we can get into the individual utilities. I can show you.
I actually wanted to have you go through a little bit on the origins, because I know I kind of started with when the relaunch occurred, but I wanted to have you walk us through just the history of the project, because for anybody less familiar, there's a couple reasons why often migrations or relaunches happen. Just trying to figure out the backstory and just kind of making sure everybody's on the same page.
For sure.
Because yeah.
Okay, so for the relaunch, so originally, right, the project was a nice slow starter. We slowly started bringing on utility holders. We got up to about, I don't know, I think it was around 750K. And when we relaunched, the chart ended at 450K. The reason for the relaunch was somehow, some way, our deployer wallet got compromised. I have some people still looking into it now. It was a very complex. It involved some fake ETH, and when I went to send some real ETH, a MetaMask prompt popped up, which looked like sending real ETH. Right? It looked like I was sending the real ETH, but I was sending this fake ETH. So it was like one of those double MetaMask prompts that came up. I assume I've never been drained before in my life, so this was the first time it's ever happened to me. So the deployer wallet got compromised. So the only way we could keep our funds, right, because the hacker was trying to empty our deployer wallet funds, was to relaunch and to send the funds directly to a Gnosis safe, right? That way, no matter what happens next time, right, even if our deployer wallet gets compromised, we're not even using our deployer wallet after it's renounced, right? The contract's been renounced ever since relaunch. So the deployer wallet's useless now, and all the funds go directly to a Gnosis safe. So to relaunch, we needed to get our community members to send in the tokens so that we could sell it into our own liquidity pool, drain our liquidity pool, and refund the new token. So that's exactly what we did. We had about 85% of tokens sent in, right? Only 15% that didn't send in. And we announced to everyone we were selling. We sold those tokens, and about 12 hours later, we relaunched this token right here. And we even took some tokens out of the pool to redistribute amongst holders who sent in their tokens that still held up to the first revenue share claim. And quite a few holders held throughout that duration as well. So that's why the relaunch happened. And now since the relaunch has happened, everything is safe and good to go because the Gnosis safe is coded directly into the contract, right? We don't have massive project experience. It's not like we've done millions of projects in the background. I'm a trader and the dev's a trader, right? We've used some of his utilities that he's cooked for me personally to be able to trade for an advantage. But this was something that we didn't foresee, right? But now we know, and everything's linked to a Gnosis safe, so everything's A-okay and safe to go. So that's why the relaunch happened.
Perfect. And again, that the unfortunate side of things in this space is people just aren't patient, right? So sometimes when a project relaunches, even if you've been transparent, kind of help, the community navigate through that process, people just aren't willing sometimes to stay for what's to come. So that's kind of like what I'll say on the migration, the relaunch. And I don't personally care about what the chart looks like in that sense, because it's all about, like you said, the utilities. And I appreciate you going through that brief origin on kind of what happened and why this relaunch happened in December. But that's all I wanted to spend on that. And like you said, would love to spend time really breaking down the utilities and then understanding some of the additional use cases or things that you guys are going to be building into the future. And I'm sure questions will come up in between as you're talking.
Absolutely, boss. I'm ready to get into it. And I know I'm happy you actually addressed it, right? Because we're open and transparent with everything. So I'd rather people know why there was a relaunch, right? And it was a one-to-one token drop. We took a snapshot, and not a single person ever sent me a DM saying that they didn't receive tokens. So we took a snapshot. Everybody that sent in, even the people that didn't send in, right? They still got their tokens. Sending in was just we just did a little token airdrop to those people a month later to show our thanks to them, because without them, right, there would be no relaunch. The only way to relaunch was for them to send in tokens, and 85% of them, like Chads, just dumped all their tokens back into our wallets for us to sell. So yeah, happy you got into it actually, because we're transparent about everything. We like discussing even the hard parts.
Oh, and again, that's one of the things really why I was excited to host you because, we've had on, 5, 10, 20, $40 million market cap projects where it feels like I'm like having to pull teeth to get answers, from the teams, from the speakers up here on stage. And again, being sub 200K, like you're one of the more transparent, more honest, just seems like you're very hardworking and dedicated to what you're trying to build. So it's kind of, it speaks to like the mystery of the space a little bit. But no, definitely love your approach, great mentality. I know that you have been on a few AMAs over there with CoinMerge and whatnot as well. And, those guys do a phenomenal job. And typically if they bring you back more than once, they like you. So definitely if you're in their good books, you kind of already have a notch up in mind.
Yeah, no, I love the guys at CoinMerge. Absolutely great people. They brought us on. I think it's been it's the third time now. And I get along great with the host. Shout out to Gandalf for helping us out with that as well. But they're great people, absolutely great people. And it's a pleasure getting to chat with them. And you guys as well. This AMA has been going great so far. So I'm looking forward to getting into it even more.
Yeah, so I would say, obviously you're the expert within your own ecosystem there at Xtrack. From the utility perspective, how do you typically start that breakdown? Like, which one would you typically start with? I'll go through each of them in a smaller breakdown individually, but I'll get you to I'll defer to you in terms of the order and how you want to go about that.
I'll probably go with the free tools first and then move towards the holders tools, just because the free tools give some of the listeners a chance to just check it out while they're listening, right? Unless you go and either purchase a bag or subscribe, you're not going to get to check out the holders tools. So we'll do the free tools first so they can maybe browse through that. And then I'll get into the holders tools a little bit more detailed, if that's cool with you.
Perfect. Let's get into them.
All right. So sounds good. So the first free tools we got, right? And you can find them right here on our link tree. We got our trending feeds, right? So right here is Xtrack trending, right? And this is also a verified account. Our check mark's just missing right now because we just updated our profile. Now, what this does is every hour it posts the top trending Ethereum coins every hour on the hour on Twitter, right? And we tested our Solana coins the other day just to check it out. And now we got Xtrack trending SOL. So every new chain that we start to support, right, we're going to make one of these trending feeds. And the reason for it, right, just show you guys right here, premium analytics, right? This is through the roof. Anybody that knows Twitter game, this is through the roof. I'm telling you, and we're doing nothing. We're doing this. This is not a raid team, right? We got a shadow ban here.
You have like 1,000 followers on that account.
No.
Maybe 1,100. No.
Yeah, I have a little bit of a marketing background. I know a few little secrets, right? I'm not going to share all my secrets, but I know a few secrets, right? So this is where we started really blowing up, and I knew we would blow up, right? Like a secret sauce. So we started blowing up here. We got a shadow ban here. That's why this is what happened. I shot a message over to Twitter support, let them know what we are, and they fixed it, right? So no more shadow ban, and now we're blowing up. I think we did almost 40,000 tweets on that day.
I'm gonna have to. Side topic, I'm gonna have to hit you up in DMs after to figure out how to get unshadow banned, because I think I got one recently, and it's
absolutely no problem. Yeah. I had to spend I spent like a solid 16 hours doing some deep diving into that one, because I'm not a Twitter expert by any means, but I'm learning to become one so that I can benefit the project and the holders, right? So what's the point of this, right? Oh wow, lots of impressions. Advertisements. People can advertise with us, right? Similar to, because we have a tool called X-Raid. We'll get into that later. It's like similar to Shield, but on steroids and way better. But people can advertise with us, right? And holders get 100% of advertisement revenue, right? That's a part of the revenue share. I'll break down the revenue share for you guys later. But the point is they get 100% of advertisement revenues. So if we have 5 different feeds like this, right, all doing these kinds of impressions, people are going to want to advertise with us. Right? If we're doing this is on track, right? If we could have a full month of this, 1.5 million impressions monthly times 5, right? If you do 5 different feeds, and now people are looking for the ETH and looking for the SOL or the SAY or the TON or the whatever's hot right now, we're going to have a feed for it, and it's going to blow up. So it's to entice people to advertise with us, right? And also in turn, when we retweet our main account, we'll probably get some followers that didn't know about our main account previously, right? So that's our ETH. And this came out about a month and a half ago, maybe a bit more than a month and a half ago, and we're already doing these kind of numbers. The Solana one is coming out today. This thing is working already, I think. The dev plugged it in. I'm just going to make sure. Yeah, there you go. 28 minutes ago. You got the top, right? Look, no views. Talk to me in 2 weeks. Talk to me in 2 weeks. We'll see where this is at. Because, like I said, this will eventually.
I'm analyzing the metrics on Twitter because, again, I mean, like my bread and butter and where I've spent most of my time is Telegram. But I mean, I'm not ignorant in saying that, like, Telegram is where the hub of community is. Twitter is where the reach exists. So, like, that's just what it is, right?
So this is free. This is free marketing. Really this is free marketing for us. Free marketing for, like I say, eventually advertisement, right? Because people would love to have the project, nice little picture here, right? Picture, video, little description. They would love that to replace one of these. We just post every hour on the hour, so we can just add their, you know what I mean? We can add their information, their project, everything. So that's one of our feeds, right? Now, another free that we got, and I'll actually just go through the link to find it. Live feed, right? All right, so if we go to the live feed right here, Xtrack live feed, this is just exactly like Xtrack trending, right? But like you say, on Telegram. Now this one, we're able to do a little bit more than we can on Twitter. You have the live chart here, right? This is completely live. These tokens are battling. See, look, it just switched on me. Zuzu was not in this place. So they're always battling for the top spot, right? All these tokens are battling for the top spot. And we're going to be doing this thing, right? This is Xtrack live feed. We're going to call this Xtrack live ETH. And then we're going for Solana, right? So anybody looking for Sol, they'll join there. Anybody looking for ETH, they'll join here. And it'll just be more exposure. Here again, we can also advertise. We can add, we can take exactly one of these boxes here and replace the picture with your project picture or video and replace this with your project information. So that's another tool, free tool / advertising purposes for holders to bring money into them. That's another one of the free tools, right? Now, another free tool. Anybody can invite this to the group, right? If you had a little private group, my friend Maurice, you can invite this to your group. What it does is it'll just give you a taste of what Xtrack does, right? It gives you the top trending coins. And if you want, you can do a full trending view on one of these coins. So if you go full trending, you can see one in a more full view. And that is just, right? That's just like having a define bot inside of your group. You can see what tokens are trending on Twitter, and you can see a little bit more in-depth look at the token itself if a token catches your eye after you take a look, right? So this is completely free. You can invite it into any group. Once again, you can advertise on this, right? And now our biggest free tool, which what I would say is going to turn into our like bread and butter for advertisements, is X-Ray, right? And X-Ray, I'll even check the stats for you guys now. It's completely open and transparent with everything. We are in 36 groups.
First off, I wanted to comment on that, the bot and like the advertising potential. So, I mean, you mentioned, you referenced Shield a little bit earlier. Well, I mean, if you think about, like, I'll just reference the time, and like they were in 10,000 plus groups, and like their market cap was still like sub 600, 700K. So that's a really interesting thing with a utility project like this is I find like the chart on projects with like this type of approach doesn't always reflect what you're actually delivering, the tech and the, like what you can do. So yeah, like really excited. Now, advertising wise, how are you guys going to kind of utilize those funds for reach with like from a community partnership perspective to get that cross exposure? And then like what is the breakdown on the like the fees from advertising for holders into the ecosystem?
So yeah, I can show you guys a basic outline real quickly here of what our fees are, right? We still got to include the Twitter into that. We just got our advertisements ready a few days ago, but what we're doing right now is we approach projects, right? And I've even given the community members full permission. As long as you got more than 1,000 members in your group, we'll offer you a bit of free advertisement in exchange for using X-Ray, right? So our advertisements, number one, I'll show you guys, are a lot cheaper, right? And see, once again, this is the web app right here. This is the Xtrack web app, right? There's advertisements right here on the side, either video or picture. But we'll go to the advertisements right here, check our sponsoring opportunities, right? Look at our prices compared, right? Look at video. I'm not even going to tell you what the competitors' prices is. You can go check them after. You can go check them after for yourself. But our monthly price is their weekly price. And we have so many more avenues to advertise on. They got one singular tool that's shared around Telegram. And it's honestly, I'm not here to put down anything else, but ours is a far superior product. I'm not going to say anything bad about them, but ours is way better. So, and all they are is that tool, right? Our biggest competitor, all they do is that one singular tool. We are doing a bunch of different avenues of utility. This is just a marketing tool for us. Their main tool is our marketing tool, right? Their queen on their chessboard is one of our pawns. So you got to keep that in mind when you're, you can't even compare us to them really. Like that's like comparing a Lamborghini to a Prius, and we're the Lamborghini. So yeah, eventually people will just adopt ours for two reasons. It's cheaper and it's better, right? If you're cheaper and better, the market comes your way eventually. So it's just going to take some time. We offer some full like I'll even out, like if the project has 10,000 members, right? I'm talking to a project right now. I'm willing to offer them a full package, full month advertisement if they use Xtrade, because that's 10,000 new eyes on us. And even if we only convert 1% of those 10,000 into holders, oh, we're doing amazing. We're doing amazing, right? Or even if we just convert 1% of those 10,000 into using Xtrade, well, that's probably another 5,000 people. It's a snowball, and it's already started to roll down the hill. It's only going to pick up steam, and it's only going to get bigger. Like we've planned this. It's a nice hamster wheel we've built. All the revenue that we collect, everything that we build has revenue in mind, and the revenue all goes back to holders, right? Advertisement is 100%. Referral, you can earn up to 50%. I'll get into that later. But yeah, if you wanted to see the pricing, that's the pricing right here, monthly, weekly, and this is video, right? Video is the top dog. You can text picture for a month. Like that's cheap for a month of advertising.
Very well priced.
Yeah, right. To corner the market, and then slowly but surely, if we need to, we can raise prices afterwards. But it's all about onboarding the customers right now. And like I say, our monthly price is their weekly price. So either they're going to have to drop prices or we're just going to take over the market. Because our tool is better. Like Xtrade, let me get into Xtrade, right? This is the pricing for Xtrade and all our advertisements avenues. Xtrade is next level when it comes to, let's see here. I'm going to try to show you guys. I'll just search real quick. Search people Xtrade so you guys can see what it does. Right? So anytime anybody on Twitter tweets your cash tag, right, you're going to get an alert. But you don't need to get an alert. You can turn this off, right? Or you can set a minimum follower account. But point is, right, and like I said, just keep in mind what the best other tool is in comparison. I'd like you guys to keep that in mind. So, right, you get alerts anytime anybody tweets your cash tag. Anytime anybody tweets your cash tag. And when you set it up, you can set up a Twitter @ You can input one Twitter @ That can be your project @ or that could be an influencer @ like Caesar, for example, right? If we want to raid Caesar, we can put Caesar's Twitter @ in here. And anytime Caesar tweets, we'll get an instant alert. I mean, he tweets, we get the alert 3 seconds later. You're not going to beat that for a raid. And then we reply, obviously. We get the top reply. And then our Twitter impressions, our exposure just grows through the roof. So that's how this works. You can put in a Twitter @ and you can put in a cash tag, right? And you'll get alerts for all of these. And if I want to, I can just click this button and start a raid right now. And it'll start a raid. You can set default settings, right? Look, I'll show you the options that we have. These are the options.
So like
right?
not only is this like a good tool for, I mean, like this could be a really good tool for those like those degens or traders out there that are just in a lot of plays. Because here's what I found was difficult. Like when I first came back in the space in 2021, like you're kind of like in awe of the opportunity, right? And then you're like, man, I want to get involved in everything. You start buying all these bags up here, left, right, and center. And then you're like, I cannot track all of this stuff. So I think like outside of maybe just even following one token or something, if you're an active trader, man, that functionality of being able to go into the bot, set up, 10, I don't know how many you can upload. I mean, you can touch on that a little bit maybe throughout, but setting up like 10, 15, one at a time. So,
No, this one. So this is the free tool, right? With our holders tool, you can set up the Telegram bot and the web app. You can set up to 80 for gold tier. But like I said, we'll get into that later.
That's awesome. So like what I wanted to say is like, if you're an active trader, I know how difficult it is to track projects, right? And sometimes like you understand how it works. You buy in, and the mentality is you buy in and you're just going to hold a bunch of different projects and hope like a few of them pop off. Like that is kind of like my approach. And I think, that's a lot of people's approach, unless you're just flipping for a 2X. And I mean, this wouldn't apply to you, but if you have a lot of bags, this is a huge time saver, right? Because I personally stopped buying stuff because I couldn't track it all. But if you're now able to get alerts for when one of your projects starts to pop off or trend, or maybe some bullish updates happen, it's getting some traction, well, then you can monitor profits a lot better and monitor so it's really good time saving tool. From personal, I stopped buying because I couldn't track, but this can give you live time alerts, and then you can go and monitor actively progressing tokens versus maybe checking dormant charts 5 times a day.
Yeah, so for a group, like if a group was using this, right, for more alpha and not rating, this is how you use it for rating that I'm going through. But if you wanted to use it for alpha, you invite it to your group of like 100 mates, and you could just set this up, right? If a project was about to stealth launch, the Twitter ad, you just put the Twitter ad in here. And as soon as he says stealth launch, well, you get the alert, right? Or stealth launching in 10 minutes, you get the alert, right? So you could just set a different person to track all the time with this singular tool. Our holders tool lets you do all of that and then more, right? That's how X-Raid is it's the best raid bot, and it also gives you a little taste of what our tech does. So, right, you get the cash tag alerts. We're monitoring Xtrack ERC here and our cash tag, right? You can turn this on or off anytime with the option setting. You can turn the cash tag on or off. You don't need to have all these alerts spamming your chat. You can set a minimum follower, right? Minimum follower count when you're setting up the bot for these alerts. So if someone only has 50 followers and he's spam tweeting your cash tag, well, you can just set it to 150, 200 followers and you won't get those alerts, right? So you can set a minimum follower count, and then default settings. Default settings is what lets us start our raids instantaneously, right? We can start any raid super fast. I'll show you guys an example real quick just to show, right? I'll just go to our main Twitter account real here. All right, I'm gonna post that because I think it's going quite well, right? And we'll just wait 2 seconds. Oh, maybe it already popped up, right? Look at this. The Caesar AMA is absolutely fire. You see that? Xtrack discussion. You see how fast that was? Yeah. Well,
that's man.
Raid started. Raid started because we have default settings. You don't got to input your likes every time. You don't got to put your replies every time. Raid started. Chat's locked. People got a raid now.
It's really cool to be able to, and I really appreciate you taking the time to connect and come by for the AMA, because, as I said, I was familiar most off. I recognize the name from CoinMerge, and like the spaces there are phenomenal. But just being able to show me the visuals live, like while you're talking about it, it definitely hits the point home.
Yeah, no, it does. Yeah, I wish we could do this in some of these Twitter spaces that we do, because I feel a picture's worth 1,000 words, right? So I'm happy to walk through it. So
that's the thing, right? Is like I can't wait for Elon to build that out, because they have the reach. It's just they need to add in that better user experience for people, right?
Yeah. Well, and it's going to be, like I say, the one thing that we do, right? One thing to keep in mind with what we do is that many people, like we've had devs come into the chat. Like later in the DMs, I'll show you. Okay, I don't know who from which project, but they're asking us, how do we do this? Like, how are you doing this? Because no one with the $5,000 a month API, which is what we pay, right? $5,000 a month to Elon, can do what we do. No one can do what we do. You can like fact check me on this and go ask any boys that right? People are upset that we're the only ones that can do what we do, and they're coming and trying to figure it out, right? And I doubt that they will. Our dev is Godzilla. That's the best way to put it. Our dev, you don't get a better dev than this, right? Keep in mind, we're a 2-man team. I run the TG, the marketing, and all this stuff, and he cooks. 2 people, 1 dev, 1 founder, right? And all of this has already been built, and we haven't even gotten into the holders tool, boss. Like when we get into the holders tools, your mind's going to start getting blown. You're going to be like, okay, wow.
And well, I was pretty shocked when you told me you're only a 2-person team, because I'm like, damn, because remember my first comment back, I was like, damn, you're even smaller than us. We only got 3 people. And I was like, that's super impressive for what you guys have built up. And again, it just more so like, a lot of what you're showing us from like a convenience, time saving. And then when you talk about groups, well, I'm thinking more individual use case, but yeah, now if we're talking about groups, I mean, like some of those bots and the value you could kind of, I mean, I have 5 bots in some of the groups I'm in, and it's really frustrating when people showcase information because so much shit happens and almost like spams the chat. So, just even how you guys are centralizing everything like within one tool, and then that's going to give sub prompts like that's going to clean up some chats too, and some of these like private or alpha groups. So yeah, definitely intriguing and some cool layers to what you've built out. But I don't want to steal the conversation. I'll throw it back to you. I don't know if you wanted to transition right now into some of the differences between the holders tools and the free to use tools, and maybe thresholds that people have to have an Xtrack token to get those benefits. But let me know. I'm really enjoying what you presented so far.
Absolutely. I'll get into the tiers right now because that's probably a good intro into I'll just give this the extra light that it needs. Where is it? Yeah, I'll just get into the tiers, right? So because that's a pretty good intro. I'll get into the tiers, I'll get into the rev share, I'll get into the referral codes, and then I'll get into the tools themselves, right? So that way I don't, because once I get into the tools, I usually I get quite excited about the tech. So I'll get into the money that you can earn through the ecosystem, and then I'll get into the holders tools and the tech that it provides, right? Because some people, right, maybe they're not tech guys, but you probably still want to hold this token if you enjoy passive income and revenue share, right? Like there's a monthly revenue share claim, and whatever we make, we're always giving it back, most of it to the holders. Like when we go through the revenue share, you'll see we give more to holders than we keep for ourselves, because that's honestly how it should be. If price go up, we do well as well, right? So the more you give to holders, the better it is. So yeah, I'll show you guys the tiers right now. Oh, there you go. They crushed the raid. So tiers. All right, I'll just click on that. Right here. Our tier system aims to give access to everyone no matter what level of trading experience, right? I'll skip over this paragraph. You can read it yourself whenever. Basic tier, you get a subscription rebate from the web app. You don't have access, but you get discounted access if you want to pay monthly to access. And that's 1,000 tokens up to 12.5K tokens. We're considering possibly making an in-between tier here, but I won't explore that too much. But we're considering it because as price goes up, it might be good to have a little in-between tier.
I know you had mentioned subscriptions as well. Now, I was curious if instead of like token gating, you guys may at some point, depending on like user data and like how many users you start to get, if you guys may look to transition completely away from like a token gated model to more of a subscription model, similar to like how you guys are running it on the advertising side.
No, we're both, right? So if you don't want to be a holder, right, you can subscribe for a month and test it out, and you can refer people as well. But holders, right, this right here, look, this right here, the Xtrack tier system, this is the holders tier system. The subscribers tier system is a little bit different. Subscribers don't get revenue share, right? Subscribers get a little bit less off their referral codes. There's always incentivizing things to be a holder.
Like so we're going to get full access to the premium tools, but they would just get no rev share and
no sniper fees. No sniper fees and no rebate and no advertisement rebate, right? So holders, to be a holder is not just for a user, right? It's also for a project owner, right? Like right here, basic tier, go through that. You got the Telegram bot and a web app rebate, right? The bronze tier, you can follow up to 25 people. You can earn up to 40% on your referral codes. These are all the features you get. You get revenue share. You get no sniper fees on bronze tier, but you get a 15% rebate on advertisements. So if you're a project founder and you want to advertise with us and you got bronze tier, whatever the prices are, once you make your transaction, hit us up. We'll send you back 15%. Silver tier, right? I'll let you guys read for yourselves. I'm not going to go through it all. You got the Solana support in here. Earn portion of sniper fees, right? So silver tier earns a portion of sniper fees. 30% rebate on advertisements. right? So if you own silver tier and you want to advertise with us, 30% off. Gold tier, all of these features here, you earn some sniper fees, you get the rev share, 50% on advertisements, and there's an alpha page that'll be specific to gold tier subscribers or holders. So this is just the holders, right? And then subscriber, you could probably take out all the rev share things, and yeah. So subscribers don't earn rev share. So you pretty much want to subscribe for a month and then become a holder if you're playing it smart, right? Because you test it out, and then if you become a holder, you can get paid for using the tool. Whereas when you're a subscriber, you're paying to use the tool. So that's what entices people to hold over subscribing. So that's the tiers, right?
Okay.
That's a rev share.
I appreciate just kind of breaking that down and elaborating further for me, because I love that, because like obviously, people are going to hold the token, but as as you said, as your impression numbers, as your exposure numbers on the actual utility start to increase, and then that pulls people into the ecosystem, maybe not even hearing about Xtrack the token, but hearing about Xtrack the ecosystem, like your tool suite, right? So allowing them multiple options should you sit at 5 million, 10 million market cap in the future is really, really going to allow you to scale and not have to like plateau, go back to the drawing board, see how you can implement it, and then change, right? Because that's going to kind of put a little bit, like almost stall the momentum in a sense if it happens too quickly. So no, I love that, and just appreciate you kind of breaking that down for everybody listening as well a little bit further.
No problem. Yeah. So I'll get into the tokenomics, right? Cover the rev share. I'll cover the referral codes for you guys. So the burn and liquidity ad, right? So we currently have a wallet, and I can even show you, right? The NASA safe right here, right? We got these different safes. This is the Xtrack new deploy. So this one here, assets. We usually take around 10 to 25% of this ETH that we generate right here, and we do a buyback and liquidity ad. And we're doing that until the liquidity meets sufficient ratio that our community feels that some whales might want to take a splash in our pond, So that's what that's for. 10 to 15%, always getting added. 10 to 25%, always getting with a buyback and a liquidity ad. And eventually, once the liquidity ads finish, we'll start doing a few buybacks and burns as well, because we wanted to reduce a little bit of supply. We already have. We started at 10 million, and I think we've burnt, I think, like 1 or 2% of the supply already. So we're going to continue to do a little bit of that, and that'll help the project's longevity and sustainability. Now the revenue share, right? What everyone wants to know about. So 60% of the total taxes are used for development and marketing. So 60% of everything in this wallet after the liquidity ad, right, and gets split 60 to the marketing wallet that the dev and I have access to, and then 40% directly to the revenue share wallet, which we upload to our smart contract for users to claim every single month. Then 100% of advertisement revenue generated from the Xtrack ecosystem goes right back to holders. So that's what I was telling you about. All the ads, all of that goes to a wallet, and all of that goes to the revenue share claim. And we haven't generated any advertisements yet, right? So once we start generating this is when the revenue share starts being juicy for holders, in my opinion. You can earn up to 50% of revenue generated by subscriptions, right? So I'll get into that. That's a referral program. I'll get into this after that. So you can earn up to 50%, right? So the people who invite more people and the people who hold more tokens, they're going to be the ones earning the bigger referral percentage, right? So once again, that'll entice people to want to buy some tokens so that they can earn a bit more on the referrals. They'll be given a percent of fees earned from the sniper bot. That's to be decided when the sniper bot goes live. We'll decide exactly what our base fee is going to be and how much we're giving back to holders. But you guys are going to be 100% making a percent of this. You're definitely going to be making a percentage of the fees that we generate. And last but not least, anything we ever build that involves revenue, you guys will be getting a portion of that revenue. And as you guys can see right here, it's usually a larger portion than what we generate. So we have our holders in mind 100%.
No, I mean, again, really well thought out, I think is the best way to put, what you've presented here so far today. The utilities and the tools play well off of one another. they're definitely, like you said, you're an experienced trader. You kind of know what you use, what you look for, stuff that helps you, and you've built out your ecosystem kind of around that mentality. So, makes sense. I always say, and I was saying it in our group earlier, I'm kind of like the why guy, and I always try and make sure the thought process and the why behind something's being done makes just as much sense as like what it actually is. So, yeah, really good detail in your explanations and your thought process. And for me, that's probably the most important thing. So, yeah, really love what you're bringing to the presentation. Now, I do want to go into some of the branding stuff, because, we've touched on some of these competing utilities, and a lot of the times it is a longer game from adoption, brand recognition, and whatnot. So, like, what are some of the ways? And I love right to the referral program. That's a great kind of word of mouth tool that you're going to use right on cue. But yeah, what are some of the tactics you guys are going to use for adoption and just more so growing your user base? Like, what are your numbers at right now for like the portal and like kind of in the tools themselves?
Yeah. So right now, I think we're at like 270 holders or something like that. And I would say, I'd have to confirm with the dev just to make sure, but I'd say out of those 270, a solid 180 of them are using the tech and have connected their wallets to the tech. So I could get you the exact number of the DMs later, but last time we talked, that's right around where it was. Around 180 people had connected and had been using the tech. And our ecosystem is essentially built to market itself, right? Eventually, people will advertise with us, but you got to think X-Rate has 20,000 eyes on it. And at the bottom of X-Rate, I don't know if you noticed, but it somewhere up here, right? We got little boxes here, right? Check out Xtrack, and it brings right to the website. So we kind of self-market with our free tools, right? And if you look at our trending feed, which is doing massive impressions, right? We got the CA rate here, and we got brought to you by Xtrack at Xtrack ERC. And I'm actually going to add the link tree into here today as well. So anytime someone sees this, they click onto our link tree. Like, our link tree growth has been going up, right? Because you can see the data on that as well. All the growth has slowly been going up. So we're kind of a self-marketing tool, right? Like, I'm happy to work with callers, absolutely. But the problem in the space is that a lot of them, they get paid way too much money to type up a paragraph. Pardon my French, but Jesus. Like, they get paid way too much money to just write up a paragraph. They don't care about the project. They don't look into the project. They don't do anything. They just write up their paragraph, take your money and go into the sunset, right? So that's why we kind of built a self-marketing ecosystem, and we're very selective with the people that we like to work with, right? That's why we chose this AMA, because you actually wanted to know about the tech. There's a list of callers I paid that never once asked a single question.
Like, I joked, I had a conversation. I was up till like 7 a.m. talking to the founder of another project in the space. And I love to write. Personally, I love to write. I love to learn about the project before I host it and try and put some good information into the write-up so that it catches people's eye. It maybe gets them thinking. It points to a couple of the need to knows, and then it allows them to kind of do their own research. So it's not, entirely being spoon-fed. But, it's frustrating because I feel like, I'll spend an hour to 2 putting together these AMA posts to really try and understand it. And then people would rather read something that says yo, good morning. Saw this play. It's pumping chart. And that's their post. I'm like, what? What? I'm like, I'm not in the wrong space. So yeah, I agree with you 100%. It's kind of, there's so much copy and pasting going on in the space when it comes to the influencer side. And then you put in effort, and then it feels like the engagement isn't there compared to somebody who just copies and pastes. And then it furthers the problem. So as a project, I think if you could shed some light on the fact that is a big problem. I know it is, other people who know the space well know it is, but I think so many normies coming in, or people just maybe not as experienced in that sense, will see the number of followers somebody has and what they put, and then just buy based on that without any real depth or merit to it. So I love you bringing light to that because it is a serious problem. And yeah, like we definitely get paid good for what we do here, but I know other channels, influencers who make way more for 10% of the effort and like 10% of the reach. And it's like,
no, absolutely. And it's not even the reach. It's not even the reach so much, right? Like that doesn't matter. What matters is conviction, right? Like people can sense how convicted a caller or something, like, right? If you write up a call on your call channel, but you're not talking about it in your privates, right? No one cares, right? So that's why, like, I like AMAs first off, because usually I can communicate the passion, right? It's very hard for any caller or anything to bring me on an AMA and not feel my passion about this project and see how serious we are about it and how hardworking we are, right? So that's why I like the AMA style, because that gives even say for any reason, even if the caller didn't want to look into it too much, you have a chance to communicate your point. So I love the AMA style things, and that's usually what we're going for, right? And I want to see if I'm, you know what I mean? Like usually when I like to work with a caller and stuff, if they are interested in the project, right? We have some of the people that we are working with, well, they've gotten X-rayed into a project, right? They got asked to be a caller in that project, and they're like, hey, how about X-rayed instead of Shield this time, guys? And they're like, sure, let's try X-rayed, right? Like, I love seeing that. That's working together, right? But paying someone 2 ETH for a paragraph is an absolute waste of ETH, and we've been guilty of it ourselves. It's been a learning experience. We've definitely paid some people that we probably shouldn't have paid. But it's a learning experience and you grow from it. Regardless, it doesn't matter because the tech that we're building, eventually everybody will want to use it. You can only build so much utility under one roof before people all want to jump on the train and say, yo, why am I holding these 7 tokens when I could just buy Xtrack and have the same kind of utility? So that's our goal. It doesn't matter. Like at the end of the day, it doesn't matter too much the kind of marketing, because in the long term, we're going to build something that everybody's going to want. And I think yourself included, Maurice, if you're a tech guy. So that's why we built the self-marketing tool. And we're very selective about who we like to work with, caller/AMA wise, because many in this space are an absolute waste of time. And I'll completely vouch for that. So that's 100% true. So if you don't mind, Maurice, I'll get into the referral program real quick, and then I'll jump to the web app and holders tool so you guys can finally see that.
Let's go.
All right. I'm going to ban this user since he's trying to. Right. So the referral code program. Great. No. Referrals. And we have everything filtered up in our Telegram chat as well. So where is it? There you go. So right, this is how it works. It doesn't matter. You don't need to be a holder to refer. You're just going to make more if you're a holder, right? But if you just have influence, and you say, hey, I just want to make a referral code and make some money off these Xtrack boys over here, you can do that. Absolutely. We're all for it because we're going to make money too. And we're going to use that money to build more tech for our holders. So feel free. So it doesn't matter. If you're a subscriber or holder, referral code, it'll be right on the dashboard, right? And I'll show you guys that in a second. We're going to the dashboard in a second. If you're not a holder or subscriber, just copy this link and slap your wallet right here. Erase your wallet here and paste your wallet. And now your referral code is live and you'll start making money. It's all through a smart contract, so you don't need to be a holder. As long as your wallet's there, our smart contract will read it and it'll distribute the money your way. And it's all automated, right? It's not a monthly thing. Referral codes are, if you refer someone and they sub, you're getting your money instantaneously as soon as they sub. You don't got to wait. And no gas fees to you. We pay that on our end. 5 different tiers. So you got the first tier, 0 to 12,500 tokens. You start at 5% and you can earn up to 30%, right? So every 5 people you refer, you gain another 5%. So you're going to start at 5 and you're going to cap out at 30 if this is your tier. Tier 2, start at 10, end at 40. Tier 3, start at 15, earn up to 45. Tier 4, you start at 20 and you can earn up to 50. And if you have 150K tokens, you just start at 50. You just start right off at 50. So like, just think about that for a second, right? If you're an influencer with some influence, you buy 150K tokens at this market cap here, which is really not much. And then you start referring people, probably make your investment back pretty fast. And that's not counting the revenue share that you're going to get from holding 150K tokens. So like I say, we're kind of self-marketing, right? We're going to make our holders want to refer people, make people that aren't even holders want to refer people, right? The Twitter, the Telegram feeds, they all funnel you back to our holders tools or to using X-Rate if you're a project, which funnels people in your project back to our project, right? So like, I don't think there's a better marketing project built on the market right now, to be honest. Like this thing is, and we're still going, we still got more feeds to make. This thing is like marketing self-sufficient. The snowball just going to roll down the hill one day, pick up so much size, and destroy everything in its path. So that's the referral program. I'll get into the web app now if you want, my friend.
Are there like on the referrals, is it immediately like completed, like the second essentially somebody comes into the ecosystem, or like a transaction, like a subscription is bought, tokens are purchased, like they're able to claim it, or is it like
no, it's auto. It's automatic. You don't gotta claim it. So watch, I'll show you right here. Purchase plan, right? But see, look, I just came through the main page. Your referral code would bring them right here, right?
Yeah.
And if I buy the plan,
like URL tag or whatever attached to it, right?
Yeah, exactly. The one I showed right here, right? Anybody can make it at any time, right here. Boom. And I think we have it. Yeah, see, we have it right here. You can just copy it. You can just copy it and put your wallet right there and start earning referrals right away. If you referred me and I purchased this plan right here, you're getting your percentage instantaneously. We get our payment, you get your payment. That's simple. You don't have to do nothing. You just have to make this referral code. You don't have to do nothing. Make this referral code, share it around like crazy, and you'll make money. That's simple, right? And they can subscribe monthly, quarterly, or yearly, whatever they want to do. But if you go to the dashboard here, right, that's where you can see how much you're making. So I'll just log in, right? This is our login page, right? If you want to purchase advertisements here, I showed you guys the advertisement page. If you got an access code, which I'm happy to give away to the community, by the way, Maurice, if you're interested. Some of the boys in the private lounge, some of the boys here, you know, wherever you want to give away the access codes, I'm happy to give you some, because once you try the tech, you'll buy the tech.
My buddy's going to be onboarding himself like after the weekend, so he'll get a few days to test that out, because I think you said the code's good till the 3rd of February, if I'm not mistaken.
But I'm saying if he likes it, take one for yourself, take one for all the boys, take one for your aunt and your sister, right? Like I'll give them out to you guys, man. I want you guys trying it, because when you try it, you buy it. That's simple. You're going to try it and buy it.
Yeah, so we'll definitely drop some in like our channel. I mean, and, you know, if anybody from the AMA here today is looking to actually get their hands and test out the ecosystem, the utilities, send me a DM, and I'll like, you know, count how many. But yeah, just want to make sure you guys are actually going to be testing it. I know the YouTube group and like the private group will definitely have some interest, because we have a lot of active traders in there as well. So yeah, I'll come back to you with numbers. I know we're going to be in touch a lot, you know, as we work together and stuff. Now, I know I don't want to get off topic, but I want to ask you something. So we do like a couple of spaces. I know you obviously have the connection with CoinMerge, so that's not really something I could open the door for. But we do a space on Sundays. Now, it's typically more like meme-ish, but I'm going to talk to Kid and Walt and kind of introduce them to like the trending side, because we do have a lot of guests and projects on there that will be in the trending categories, right? We had Whiff on as our guest, you know, Dog with Hat. Last weekend, they're like 400 million on Sol. The weekend before, we had Myro on. You know, they were trending all over the damn place, like for as many, they're still killing it. But yeah, so like that I think could be a good connection too. Because that they're all on Twitter, like all their spaces, all the projects they work with, everything is housed on Twitter for them. So I think for you, that could be a good connection to make, just with the teams and the people that they know in the space. So it's typically a little more memey, but I think maybe I'll see if Kid Walt could get you in as maybe like an intermission, like halfway through the show, kind of talk about the utility and how it can support some of these communities, like trending. And yeah, like, I don't know. Yeah, that could be cool.
No, I'm happy to do any AMA. I've told everybody that I'm working with, if you have an AMA and you'd like to get me on there, I'm happy to do it. I always want to talk about the tech. We're here for the long term, right? So I'm hoping to talk
them into more utility projects. Like I want them to start a utility show, because like what we do right now is more meme-ish, but like I'm more of a utility guy, and there's so many solid utility projects that exist out there with real tools, and some of those tools that exist are available to help out people who would be active in these like meme communities, right? So I think that the cross-pollination between like certain utility projects and meme culture is really, really cool. So yeah, something we'll keep in mind. But again, I didn't want to spend too much time on it, so I'll throw it back to you. As you said,
No, but that's
after the go ahead.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea, friend. Honestly, because think about it. X-Raid is perfect for meme projects, right? That's for meme projects to raid and get their exposure and get it looking like ours does, right? Because you can instantly raid. So like, I'd love to be on a panel with a bunch of meme projects. I'll make nice with every one of them. I'll shoot them a DM after, and I'll offer them some advertising spots so they can maybe use X-Raid. So yeah, no, I'm more than thrilled. It doesn't matter if it's a meme panel or not. I'm happy to go anywhere you want to take me, my friend.
See, they typically put out the announcement on Sunday, on Saturday, like afternoon or evening. So I'll message the boys. I'll try and jump on a call after we're done our AMA and see if we can get you into like that halfway spot. And then I think again, just especially with Sol, your Sol trending going live. There's been about a 50% split of Sol projects on the panel lately. So that and some big ones, like I said, Whiff and Myro and Myra.
No utility. No utility.
So, yeah,
Sol has no utility, right? So that's the one big thing that we're doing here. We're trying to push some Sol utility before anybody else. Like, there's no utility. Like, I mean, I've traded on Sol myself a little bit here over the last month, and it's very basic utility. So that's why we're trying to provide a few little things already on Xtrack Sol related, so that we can maybe attract some of these Sol traders to be like, hey, I know it's an ETH token, but it gives me access to Solana utility. Let me go get some Xtrack so I can get that extra edge,
It's an ETH token, so it's not going to get cheated like 50% overnight or 80%, right? Hopefully. So that's
this is the bottom.
Sol.
This is the bottom. This user base.
I was just making a joke about the chain, because Sol, man, you go to bet on your bag on Sol, and you're playing with fire right there.
Oh yeah. But I mean, at least there's no gas. It's like, I call it a fad, right? Everybody has their own opinion. My opinion is a fad. ETH is king. It's all going to return to ETH eventually, but that doesn't matter. You capitalize on market opportunity, especially when you got holders that rely on you. So that's why we went towards Sol right away, because I thought personally it was going to last a little bit less longer than it has, right? And after it lasted longer than I thought it was going to, I told the dev, I'm like, cook up Sol support right now, because I'm wrong. This is going to last a little bit longer than I thought it was going to, and we need to capitalize on this. So he essentially cooked up Solana support. It took him like a day and a half. It's ready, right? So this is the web app, right? When you log into the web app, you can claim your access code, you can subscribe, right? Purchase plan, log in, or you can log in with your Twitter if you connected to our Telegram bot before. And I'm going to bounce back between the Telegram bot and the web app here, because these are our two holders tools, and they're completely synchronized with each other. So it doesn't matter if you're a web app guy or if you're a Telegram guy, you'll be able to use this tool whichever way prefers you, right? So I'm just going to log in right here. I've been logged in plenty of times, so just got to sign a message. This is the same way for everyone. When you log in, you can either use your Twitter account if you sent a 0 ETH transaction to our deployer wallet through a Telegram bot, or you can just sign this message, right? Message is for verification purposes only. All you're doing is signing to prove that you own the wallet. It's done, right? You're good to go. You're not connected. Now, shows you your balance on the dashboard, your wallet, Telegram, your Twitter, revenue share rate here, right? I claimed mine to test for the dev, but your revenue share portion every month when the claim goes live will display right here. And then all you have to do is click this claim button, pay the gas, you've claimed your revenue share. Referral code, if you're subbed, it's right here. Copy your link, and it shows you I've referred one person. I've earned 0.018 from my referral. I currently earn 50% because I have 163,000 tokens, which, by the way, I purchased above this market cap, just in case anybody's wondering. Dev and I kept no tokens. We only purchased our tokens because we felt it's better to be a holder just like everybody else than have an unfair advantage. So any token that I'm holding or the dev is holding, we purchased. You can verify that on the blockchain. And we purchased higher than this too, some of them for sure. So the referral system, that's how it works. Services shows you everything if it's online or if there's any outages. In here, We got a little update list, right? But keep in mind, these updates are just small. We post our giant update lists in the Telegram. If we posted every single update on the web app, we'd be flooding this tiny little box. So we just put little.
You're like going to say that's going to be all the web app is just updates. So while we're in this dashboard, I did want to have a question because I love the simplicity of it. Now, what are you guys going to be building out in the future within this dashboard? What tokens you may have tracked, and because like the bot itself on Telegram can pull so much information on those tokens. If, say, for example, you've purchased them in this dashboard, will you guys have the ability to track and kind of rank performance on tokens that you purchased
okay, so
trending?
Let me put it this way to you.
Am I jumping too far ahead?
No. You're not jumping. Well, it's ahead in the future. Yes. Is that something we're doing this month? Probably not. We got other things we're doing this month. Let me like the way I put it to everybody, right? If you can think of the utility, right? If it already exists, we're definitely making it, right? But if you can't think of the utility and it doesn't exist, we might make that too. So like we're making everything, boss. Like, everything. Like contract deployment fees, tracker tokens, wallet tracker, profit tracker, everything, boss. Like it's just going to take time. Of course, you can't build this overnight. Rome wasn't built in a day, but just like I tell everybody, join our Telegram, come look at our work ethic, and you'll see it won't take us long to do. We've already built all of this in 3 months. Give us 1 year. See what we can build for you. So that's the project. Everything that you already know under one roof. So people better be scared. And people are, obviously, because they've attacked our wallet and they've attacked our Telegram and they've attacked us many, many times. I can afford to run this project if it was at zero for the next 1 year by myself. So this is going nowhere, ever. Doesn't matter the price, the chart. We care less. We're building every day. That's what we're doing. We're here to build. This tool is going to get built out and it's going to dominate the market. It's that simple. And you can tell some people are already starting to have their feathers ruffled over this because we've had our Telegram attacked. We've had our deployer wallet attacked. That fake Ethereum token is in every single one of our Gnosis safes. I've hidden the token and made sure that it never gets interacted with. But we're being targeted. You know, the big players in the space don't like the little guy coming and taking over, right? So the little guy's coming to take over. That's what's happening with this project. So this is the dashboard. Boom. And like you said, yes, dashboard at the beginning. As we keep on building, this will get even more robust, or we'll have our own page for like a wallet tracker or stuff like that, and maybe just keep the dashboard simplistic, right?
I had an interesting question come through from a listener. They may even be invested in the token. This is from Zio. Their question was, going further into some of the tracking and trending data, the way that sometimes crypto works is different regions, different geographic areas will have different trending tokens depending on the chain. So are you guys going to take it a step further and offer geographic trending based on maybe where you live or certain regions? I really like that question. I figure it's kind of on topic, so I pulled it.
No. It's a very good question. It's a very good question. But you see, we're only tracking the newer tokens, right? I think we track up to a week. So if your token's more than a week old, right, we're kind of focusing on the new ones, right? Because if Pepe is being talked about a lot right now, like, honestly, who cares, right? That's noise to me. Like, Pepe's at how many billion market cap? I'm not going to make any money, right? Like, what am I hoping to slam 50 ETH into that chart to make 75? That's right. Like, this is more focused on the newer tokens, newly deployed tokens, right? And once they get a week old, they kind of fall off. So to cover his geographic question, geographic doesn't play a factor in this. Geographic plays a factor over time, right? If you're talking about what tokens are trending this month, what tokens are in the Twitter trending for that location. But we don't work with Twitter trending. We aggregate all our data into a database ourselves. So yeah, what's in Twitter trending for a certain location, we cover all the tokens that are deployed on ERC20 in the first 1 week. So location doesn't play a factor, if that answers this question.
Yeah, no, it definitely would. Now, are you guys planning potentially to build out in the future something that is focused on, larger tokens? And, I mean, like you said, the first one, sometimes within the first week, after that, they'll have sometimes a tendency to fall off. So if primarily what's being tracked may not have staying power, do you guys plan on growing out that additional layer where now you can attract people who are in these like 100, 200, $300 million market cap projects and really maybe get some more whales into yours through that cross exposure?
Absolutely. It's a database and server upgrading thing, right? So we build to what we can do. And as we continue to grow, then we usually upgrade our servers, upgrade our capacity a little bit, and we add on things like that, right? So to keep it within 7 days, that gets you the early data, right? We have an analytics page that goes 30 days old. So we've already pushed from 7 to 30 days on the analytics page. So slowly but surely, right? I'll get into the web app so you can see. But slowly but surely, the answer is yes. Like I said, all tokens, it won't matter, right? It's a process. And we want people to see the building process. I feel personally myself as a holder, when my suggestions actually get valued and get input into a project and I see the building process happening in front of my eyes, I tend to be more invested, more convicted. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm a part of this team now. They've taken my idea. I'm using my own idea that I suggested just a week ago. The Xtrack team built it for me. So yeah, we're going to get there, but it's just going to be a building process. If you guesstimate of time, probably by next quarter for sure, we'd be doing all tokens and on all chains, right? We're providing cross-chain, say, TON, BNB. We're going to do it all, just slowly but surely. Oh, what a Chad. Sorry, I got to go react to that, Chad. That was a nice one. Big Chad right there. All right, so this right here. Okay, I'm on Sol right now. We'll go to ETH. See, Solana support. We already got it. The dev started cooking this 2 days ago, Maurice. 2 days, and we already got Solana support. So I'm going to refresh this. And there might be, it might not, might be. The dev is working right now as I do this AMA. So if any little glitches or anything pop up, understand the dev is currently doing upgrades and work as we do this AMA. So this is ETH, right? It shows you all of the trending tokens, all of their information. You got the live chart. You can cycle to a live bubble maps. All right, that one's not loaded. And you can cycle back and forth through live charts and live bubble maps. That one loaded. That one's not loaded. That one's not loaded. If the bubble map's been requested, you can load it. If not, we're getting our ability to request our own bubble maps here shortly. But yeah, anyway, so you can cycle essentially through the bubble maps and the live chart, right? The bubble maps just currently has to be requested, but within a day or two, that's going to be changed to all the bubble maps will be live because we'll have our own premium access. It shows you all of the coins that are trending on Twitter. So you can do either the ones that are trending from the most tweets, right? 190 mentions on this. You can pick your different time frame from 3 minutes to 7 days. You can go on latest, right? And latest will show you the latest coins in that time frame. So in a day, and it'll show you the latest ranked by their date, right? So these are the newest coins that have just popped up that are actually getting mentioned on Twitter. So if you want a little bit more of a early view, right? Like if you're looking for early coins, this is what you do right here. And then this one ranks the earliest coins on Twitter based by mentions, right? And then you got your followed, right? These are accounts that you follow with the tool. I'll get into the settings page after. So essentially we have our own little database so that when people subscribe, they can get alerts and they can see how it works. Then you want to put in your influencers who you think is alpha, right? And you'll get this information right here. So, right, you got blocks and thoughts, just followed this project. These are all of the projects, doesn't matter ETH or Sol, all of the projects that get followed by your favorite influencer or the people that you follow. And this is all the project tweets or replies from your favorite influencer or the people that you follow. So that's essentially the trending feed, right? You got
the following feature is really cool. I don't know if I've seen that I'm trying to think of like other, utility projects or trending like aggregator type utilities. I don't know if I've seen the following one specifically. That's definitely a unique feature. I mean, you may know a little bit more in depth on competition on that sense, but I don't recall hearing about that on other projects. So that's definitely new.
I think there might be one or two that offer that feature, but like the combination and features offered by us definitely surpasses anything out there, right? Like combination wise, like I said, sure, you can compare X-Ray to Shield if you want to, but that's not a comparison because we're not just X-Ray. We're all of this, a web app. We got a lot going on, right? And same thing in this aspect. Like, yeah, I think there's one or two other things that do the follows. They don't do the tweets. They don't do the replies. They don't have live charts. They don't have bubble maps. They don't have the rest of this web app here that I'm going to show you. And keep in mind, everything here, right? Everything in followed that you receive here, you receive, right? Let me bounce right here. Boom. In the Telegram bot. See, look. These are the latest tweets. These are my alerts. Eric Cryptoman, Eric Cryptoman. Euro Sniper, right? You just retweeted. I get it in both. So if you don't want to be a web app guy, don't be a web app guy. Just hang out in Telegram. You'll get the alert here or here. It's whatever you want. And same here. You're just following, just tweeted, right? That's the last guy that tweeted. He just tweeted.
I had a great question here. I think he has to jump off, he said, but he was hoping I could just ask this. This one has to do with how, and I'm not sure of how this would impact you, so I wanted to ask you. So this has to do with the Twitter algorithm and how, since Elon's taken over, we've seen a couple of different major changes within the algorithm and how it affects trending or projects even getting shadow banned, or the use of hashtags is minimizing your views. So he's saying, like, how do you guys adjust like what you're doing on the trending side of your utility to manage the changes that may come, in the future with the algorithm on Twitter? And then he said, like, how do you guys as a project now, Xtrack, not so much your utility, take advantage and like maximize your reach through the utility? So that's from CryptoBird. Yeah, CryptoBird NFT.
Yeah, no, great question. Well, the maximizing of the reach, I covered with, the Twitter and the different tools, right? If I go into a different project and I'm like, hey, buy Xtrack, I'm getting banned. But if that project is using X-Ray is saying, hey, buy Xtract. You know what I mean? So it's that's the reach part, right? Like our project is essentially built to capitalize on the reach. Now for the algorithm, our coins are not the same coins, right? So we're always tweeting the top trending coins. We've also messaged Twitter now, right? I got in contact with support. Say we're a verified account and they know of us now, right? So I can always just, contact my contact at Twitter and see, like, if there's any problems, let me know what I need to do to change, right? So I don't see us ever really getting, we got shadow banned the one time, contacted Twitter, and we haven't since. So that's something we're just going to do like on a day by day basis, see if everything's working well, if we're not getting shadow banned. Every hour on the hour seems to not be a problem. The cash tags that we're tweeting don't seem to be a problem because they often change up. It's not right. We're always, if you go and spam the same singular cash tag, right? If all your replies in a day are Xtrack, you're going to get shadow banned. That's how you get shadow banned. But if you're posting an hourly trending feed like this and you mention it in your bio, and as well, now we're in contact with Twitter support, we'll probably be good on the shadow bans. I was told if ever we get shadow banned again to just hit them up ASAP. It's got to be a mistake. And it happened, right? If you go on our trending page, you'd have to scroll down. I didn't save a screenshot or anything, but one singular message one day got shadow banned. And I contacted support right away and I'm like, hey, we're shadow banned. And he's like, they said there's a rogue spam bot or something on Twitter. And then Elon even made a tweet about it. So then we retweeted that. And since then, nothing's happened. So I think that we'll be just fine in the shadow ban aspect because we have a premium account. We're not spamming. Right? We're doing it every hour on the hour, and we're stating exactly what we are in our bio. And for Twitter to approve us as a premium account, they had to have approved of the automation that we're providing. So I think we're good in that aspect. It was just, when you're a new account, sometimes it happens. And now the problems are fixed on the shadow banned area.
Awesome. No, I appreciate that breakdown. And I may need to get your contact there because, yeah, I'm curious. I did notice, and it may be on me. Maybe I use too many hashtags, but I normally don't multiply tweets for projects. And I don't tweet a lot. Like I try and keep it to like 3 to 4 max a day.
What about your replies? What about your replies?
Not too bad. Like and replies, I never really over spam. It's more so just like kind of, jokes, or be like, let's go, like, send gifts and more so like fun kind of show personality.
With the hashtag?
Not often.
Okay, so that was my problem. I was just replying too much to the hashtag as well. You got to follow the people you reply to, boss. If you're replying to people you're not actually following, that'll get you shadow banned right there.
Yeah, I think I would be following, because I kind of try and engage. I don't go after like the big accounts. I mean, I'm not out there trying to like smash replies on Elon's tweets, but I like to like follow like the small to mid tiers, like the 5 to 25, and like really try and get up there and reply and respond to like convos, or I'll answer projects here and there that I've worked with. If they drop a big update, be like, that looks like bullish, like super excited, for what you guys are building. It's just, basic stuff. But there was a couple long tweets I've put out recently, and maybe I just had a few too many words or tags linked or something, maybe too many hashtags, not even hashtags or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll get it. Seems like this happens every couple of weeks. I get maybe a 2-3 day span where the engagement goes way down, and then like it's back up to like 6 to 8K per. And I'm like, all right, well, whatever was happening is gone, so we're good.
Well, yeah, no, like I said, after this, I'm happy to spend some time in a VC with you and do whatever I can to help you figure that out, boss. So, just gonna finish up this little page right here. Then now we got the Solana support as well, right? So you see when it's just absolutely at the top right now. And like I said, we got the live charts and the bubble maps. It's just the devs working in the background right now. So there's a few things.
Side note, did you jump into the airdrop for that?
No, I'm too busy, man. Honestly,
I do as well, but I know a bunch of the people in our YouTube group and the private group are all talking about it, and a few of them have like 8-9 wallets they got into for the airdrop on through Jupiter Exchange or whatever. So
yeah, no, hopefully some people make some money. I'm always like, lately I'm too focused on this. I see us getting this as far as it can go. So my trades are a little bit lacking here and there. I might take a few quick ones, but that's about it. But yeah, so that's pretty much a Solana support there. Boom. Live charts are going to be there later today. They're just not there right now, but you got Bonk, you got Honk, right? You get they give you the little picture of the project. You got Milk down there and all the information, coin scan, whatnot here, right? And like I said, all of that, everything that you've seen on that page is linked with this Telegram bot that I showed you guys right here. Every alert that you get on that page, you can get right here. And if ever a token is trending on this, you'll get an alert that it's trending in the Telegram bot as well. This is super cool. This thing here is overpowered, right? So this shows you every single token, right? Every single token on Twitter in the last 31 days, right? So you can pick any time all the way up to 31 days fighting for the top spot, right? You got Bonk right here.
Spot right now,
Bonk, when, right? You got this, you got that. And that's just right here, right? And then you get to see them battle it out. Now, if you want information on a token, right? Oh, whoops. I think it's because, the dev right now is currently splitting this into Solana and ETH. So I'm going to need to find an ETH token here for it to open up, I think. Oh, no, I have it on Solana. That's maybe what's up. There we go. Like I said, Solana support is a little bit new to me as well, right? There we go. Okay, so see, I got a bug to report to the dev. When I'm on Solana support on the main page, it brings me to Solana support on the ETH page. Now I should be able to click on one of these, right? There you go. See, this is what happens, right? Solana support's not completely finished yet, but when you click on any of these tokens, get a live chart. Bubble map's not loaded on that one, but you got all the information. You got the market cap, the liquidity, the holder count, their tweet count over the last few days, right? It shows you if they're growing or if they're slowing down a little bit. But yeah, this is super useful, right? You can see where their tweets are at. You can see everything live time, and you can just click on the projects to get their information. Right, like this chip, boom, get the live chart. You can interact with this too, right? You can put on the 1 minute. That's what I mean about everything in the one platform, right? I can see the chart for this token. I can see everything. And soon enough, I'll have a little button here where I can just click it and snipe it. So it's going to be nice. So that's what this does, right? ETH or Solana, right? You go on ETH or you go on Sol. But as you guys seen, when I click the Sol tokens, we don't have the project information quite yet. That'll probably be added sometime in the next day here. The dev's working on it right now as I talk to you guys. So that's what that does. It shows you all of them with the token information. You can click on any of these and know the information on any token, what their chart's looking like right away. So this is a super, super cool feature, right? And you can change the time frame anytime if you want, right? This is what it's looking over the next 7 days. What is this one here? You got when, see? Over the 7 days, you can see when. I think this is Bonk, right? Manta. But yeah, that's essentially how this works here. We're splitting it between ETH and Solana. So you'll be able to check all your Solana tokens, all your ETH tokens, click on them and see what's doing what. So that's that page right there. You got the settings page, and this is where you choose who you want to follow, right? So if you want to follow people, you can just add their @. You can choose to follow some of the accounts that we suggest here based on who's followed by our users, right? And then, or you can put it in here. You can put whatever you want, right? Or you can batch follow. If you want to batch follow a whole bunch of people, you can just batch follow a whole bunch of people in here and then follow a whole list of 80 people if you're gold tier, right? The follows are getting pushed up today. So currently gold tier was 30. Now it's going to be 80. And any of these people that you follow, that's where you'll get the alerts in the followed section on the trending feed and in the Telegram bot. Here, you can pick your preferred sniper or your preferred dex, right? Just pick a dex, pick whatever sniper that you want. And then the links, right? If you see on the trending feed, like I was showing you guys, you got banana right here. So if I click this banana gun link, it's going to open my banana gun directly on this project. So then I can just click the buy button instantaneously, right? You can pick your preferred dex. If you want to navigate to a dex, your preferred sniper. And then any of the people here that you choose to follow, you can have an overview of what they've been doing over the last little bit. So you can see all their latest followings right here. You can see all their latest tweets. And these are project tweets, right? So these are project related tweets that they're showing up right here. See all their Twitter information.
These breakdowns, man, it's just super easy to digest, like the information that you're giving users.
Yeah. So like, Crypto Skull, he's talking about Sol projects. He followed these projects lately. Like, it's just a wealth of information pretty much aggregated, and we're only getting started. Like, this is what we've cooked up. This is our foundation. Now we can build a whole bunch of other things. We're going to have a feed. We're building a page right now, right? And it's going to be a feed that ranks every influencer, Twitter or Telegram. We're going to be tracking their calls, right? We're going to see who's really good bang for buck. Now, project founders can use this information to see, this is who I want to hire. Or traders can be like, this guy just called, but usually he moves 1 ETH of volume, so I'm not going to buy, right? We got some things cooking up. Maybe it'll ruffle a few feathers, who knows? But it's data. Data's data. We ain't lying. So whoever moves the most volume is going to be ranked number 1.
Now, I don't know who would be number 1, but I honestly don't follow. Like, it's weird because I'm kind of like you. I'm so deep into what I'm doing for like the channel, and like we have so many things that are supposed to be rolling out over the next like month or two. I feel like I've been like I used to be when I started in 2021. I've been up like all night, sleeping like the weirdest hours. I crashed yesterday, finally got a good sleep, and I got a lot of energy today. And man, like I don't spend a lot of time honestly following many other people. Like, I mean, I jump into spaces, I network with them that way, but following calls and stuff, yeah, like I don't really do it. I wouldn't know who honestly moves the chart the hardest on Twitter. I couldn't even make a guess. I like income charts though, just in terms of people. I like
he's responded to us. He's responded to us twice and actually sent us a DM back. If I could just get him to use his access code. We keep rating income charts. I also am a big fan of income charts. He's responded to us twice.
I think you see I think I see blocks and thoughts on there at the bottom too.
I did, but
Fundamentals.
they've been a little bit unresponsive. So, all
Yeah,
good
I
things to
like
them,
that.
bless them. But, I
Yeah, I
nothing
mean,
against them, but
maybe some you connect. I mean, he typically I think looks at projects a little higher cap, but I will say I think there may be some connection that can be made. I know him through CoinMerge as well as he's an advisor for Chart AI, which we work with pretty closely, and Buck. Who works and owns the Firehouse and is like our AMA coordinator here. He's actually on the team at Chart AR for marketing. So I think he's in pretty close contact with Blocks. So
we're happy. We're happy to do a spaces with him 100%. The last conversation we had, he had a few things going on. So I just left him to his things and told him, contact me when you're free, right? Because he had some matters to take care of that he told me. So I just said, you take care of your matters, and whenever you want to work, I'm here. Feel free to shoot me a contact, because I didn't want to press him during that time. You know what I mean? He said he had some stuff, so I just let him be.
Yeah.
So
sure. I like his stuff, so it's cool that you have him on your radar as well.
Well, that was a community suggestion. Personally, I did not know much about him, but he seems like a great guy from the research that I did myself. But the community suggested him, so we took that to heart and we hit him up. And hopefully, when he's a little bit less busy, one day we get to have the chat and we can have an AMA with him too. We're happy, like I said, we're happy to have AMAs with everybody because we actually get to communicate the project across and people get to see it. We just had someone join our TG being like, what the fuck is this utility? This shit should be at 10 million, right? So I love doing AMAs when people get to actually see the value and be like, yeah, wow, this is actually criminally undervalued right here. So
now I did have a question come through. They love this suite of utilities that you've built out, and with what you're doing in trending, with what you're doing like across your ecosystem, do you have any plans to incorporate some sort of TA features? Because you guys are, after all, focusing on trending, not so much necessarily on the chart aspect, but they were curious if you guys plan to build that out in the future.
Some TA as in?
Like chart, like trend analysis on a chart.
For like chart. Yeah. Okay. So if you know what I mean? Sure. That could be a later thing, right? Like an algo kind of telling you whether it's a strong buy or a strong sell. There's projects that already do that right now. And but yes, if it exists. So the answer to that, if it exists
okay, go ahead. I think we're just a little telegrammed.
I was just going to say, if it exists, it's getting built. So to answer that question, yes, eventually we'll have that, right? It's one of those things that this project isn't going to end, right? Like I know your typical utility project, you're used to investing and seeing the devs push like 1 or 2 updates and then fucking off into the sunset. That's not what we're going to do, right? We're just going to keep building. So like, yeah, we're going to have it, right? If it exists, we're going to have it. That's the best way to answer that question, right? A contract deployment feed? Sure, we'll have it. Oh, how many snipers are looking at a token? Sure, we'll make one. Oh, what about chart analysis? Sure, we'll make chart analysis. Why not? Because we can. Like this dev is Godzilla. This dev can make anything you want. And he's going to keep building as long as the project permits us to keep building, right? So yeah, it's that simple. Do you want something built? Have you ever had a utility idea that you thought would be top tier, right? You're like, oh, this would be a great idea. Then come give it to us and watch us cook it for you. No one else is going to do this. I promise you, there's not a founder you will find out there that will answer your DMs, that will take your calls in the middle of the night. And I'm talking any community member. My line's open. They can call me at 3 a.m. to ask me a question about the project. They need help with something, whatever. I'll get out of bed and I'll help them. And they have a suggestion, I take it, I put it in the suggestion box. We eventually get to it, right? Let me show you guys this, right? Don't take my word for it. This is the Xtrack folder right here, right? We got the Xtrack folder right here. Tectonic, right? Got the discussion room. Boom.
Yeah, so I'll elaborate because why I like that question, and I think I misinterpreted their question, so I'll give you what they actually meant. But what I was saying is like most, like if it's TA based, most are just focused on price action, right? But because of the depth of information you guys are collecting through trending, and then you're going to be able to actually pull up the types of influencers who are talking about that potential project or that potential token, coin, whatever it may be. And then you can actually gauge like what the sentiment is because of the information collected. Like you guys, again, can do a much better job on the sentiment side of the analysis, which most miss. And I think a lot of the tools that are trying to grow up and kind of blossom in the space right now, they're taking the approach of pushing the sentiment because they understand that's an area that hasn't been tapped and is less competitive because it's harder to do. But I think you guys would be in a unique position because of what you already collect, that is not the hardest, because you already have the data essentially. So like, yeah, you'd have to build out exactly how the data is going to be interpreted and used. But yeah, you would have a unique standing position because of the depth of info and how people could actually read the sentiment versus just be told about it, to build out something on that side that works. But the correct question he was asking is more so on hash analysis. So being able to actually address or track the number of new wallet addresses that are coming into these chains that you guys are doing the trending for. So example, number of new wallet addresses coming to ETH, number of new wallet addresses coming to Sol, because that could also speak to, the growth of a chain and like, yeah. So I like that question too, but I did want to elaborate a little bit on my background or whatever.
That if you wanted to know, like that'd be simple to do. That'd be a simple feat to provide, right? Knowing how many wallets are going to ETH or Sol or that, like you just plug into Dune Analytics, and there you go. Yeah, so we can do that. We can absolutely do that. That's the thing. Some of these ideas are like very, very simple ideas, just plug and play. It's just we're focused on some of the things that don't exist first, right? You want to be first to market with some ideas, because if you're first to market with some ideas, that's a little bit more traction. And then, sure, we'll build our own Xtrack contract deployment feed. We'll build our own tools that kind of already exist, but maybe put our own spin and our own touch on it to try to make it that much better, right? But yeah, this is what I was showing you guys right here. We got suggestion group, a wins group. So anytime someone has a win, anytime someone has a suggestions, or anytime there's a bug reported, we just forward it to these groups. Boom, 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 boom. So yeah, that's how we keep track of our suggestions and make sure that the community's kept in the circle, right, with their ideas. So that's how we do that right there.
Awesome. No, and great questions. That was from Diddy Monta. Sorry, I almost called him Montana. Diddy Monta. So thanks, Diddy, for sending that question over. Vlad, I'll send you the username because I know you were curious for the best questions later on. No, I did like that one, and we ended up getting 2 questions out of it too. So that's terrific. No, I'm really, really impressed, man. Actually, by what you have. Like, I'm a data guy, I'm an info guy, and just some of those summaries, those dashboards that you've built out, and the ability to like track like influencers, tweets, and just it's really cool. Honestly, like I think that's one of the best demos we've had here in an AMA, like in the time that we've been running these. So definitely big props to you for what you've built and just how you explain it. I think it comes across very digestible, and as you're trying to make like with your tool, like that's the focus, right? Like it's a lot of information, it's a lot of data that you guys have, but the way in which you've kind of filtered it to the user is really clean. So yeah, well done.
Appreciate that, my friend. Yeah, no, we try. Like I said, we're building every day. If ever there's any questions right throughout this AMA that you didn't have answered and you're curious, just check out our docs. Like our docs are thorough, right? Like, look, this is the Xtrack bot, the holders bot. Every single function fully covered. The web app, how to connect, every explanation is fully covered. I got a bit of updating of this to do today since we just added the advertisements, right? I don't have the advertisement section done yet, but it's very, very well covered, right? If you want any information about the tech or the tools, tokenomics, revenue share eligibility, everything is covered right in this Git book right here. So I strongly recommend, if you have any more questions right on us that you definitely take a look at this Git book if you feel like I missed or forgot to cover anything today, because this will have the answer for you, right? Or feel free to hit me in the DM or give me a call anytime. I take everybody's call as long as it's about Xtrack. If you're trying to offer your marketing service or stickers, please do not call me at 3 a.m. Please.
Understandable. I wouldn't want calls for sticker marketing at 3 a.m. either.
You want to know how many I've had? Many. I've had many.
I'm sure. I don't get many sticker marketing calls though, at least because we don't have like a project to make stickers for, right? So like we're good.
But believe it or not, like as annoying as it is, I actually found 2 friends from those annoying marketing messages. One of them offers a service, and I like the service. It's a very nice service, and it's very cheap. And the other one also, same thing. He has his own little service, and they're dirt cheap. You know what I mean? So I guess it worked out in their favor. But yeah, 90% of those DMs I could do without.
Yeah, I'm. Mine over the years have cooled down. I think people understood that I just won't answer that. So it's just like, yeah, no, I'm good. But no, man, really, honestly, Tech, like you definitely, you said one of your goals with the AMA was to, impress us with what you built, and you definitely did impress me in terms of the UI and just like the cleanliness of the data and the ability to break it down in a user-friendly way. Yeah, some of this stuff personally, I know you said it is kind of featured in maybe other projects, but first time it's been demoed here live in our channel, and you did a phenomenal job. So for me, anything that you typically like to get through during these AMAs, I didn't even realize we're almost at the 2-hour mark. Holy crap. Yeah, this really, really smooth, man. I know I said 75 minutes, but I don't stop when the discussion's good, and the discussion has definitely been good. So, anything else, any final calls to action, anything we didn't get to, I will do a little bit of time for some community questions on the back end. But just regard to the, back and forth between you and I on the AMA, if there's anything we missed or any key pieces you maybe wanted to get through before the community questions come in, let me know and I'll give you a couple minutes here.
Yeah, no, all I would say for a call to action is jump in our Telegram and come check us out yourself, right? Read our docs, come ask your questions, come give your suggestions. And if you do that, I'd be strongly surprised if you don't become an Xtrack holder, right? You just, anybody with 2 eyes and a brain can see what we're doing here. So yeah, just don't take my word for it. Come and do your research one day, right? If you're a busy trader, that's fine. You won't need more than half an hour of your time to give us a proper look over and be like, wow, I like what I see here. So that's all I would say. Just do your own research, right, as the space would suggest. And when you do it on us, you'll definitely be impressed with what you get. And if you do want to check our docs, right, if you want to read up on us and see, we provide every language, essentially. And if your language isn't here, let us know. We will add another translation for you so that you can read our docs in a language that makes more sense to you, right? Sometimes reading docs in English for a non-English speaking person doesn't really serve it justice. So we have our Git book completely translated and our Telegram bot as well, right? This completely, if you want, you can translate it anytime. So this bot is easy to use for pretty much anybody that wants to use the bot, right? Right here, we can just go Chinese. Then when I go help, the help menu will be in Chinese and all of the information in the bot will be in Chinese. So we tried to be, tried to respect everybody's culture kind of deal and give them their preferred language. So maybe it's easier for them to use the tool. So yeah, that would be my call to action. Come check us out yourself. We're here to build. We will build your suggestion. We will be here longer than your favorite utility project. I promise you that. You're going to see so many projects come and go in the time that Xtrack is still here and Xtrack is still building for its community. We don't care about the price, right? Project could be at 0 for the next 4 months. I'm still going to be building. The dev's going to be building. So don't even worry about the chart. What I tell people, right, is if you're buying Xtrack and you're looking at the chart, you're probably not the right kind of holder. Because if you're buying Xtrack, you know what you should be looking at? The web app, the Telegram bot, the utility, to be making yourself more profits. That's what this token is for. Buy the token, use the tech, make money that way. Eventually, the revenue share and all the profits you make from the alpha we provide you will long and far cover the expenses that you incurred putting into the chart to originally grab your tokens. So That's what we're looking for. We're looking for tech enthusiasts, people that have good ideas, want to see them built, want to be a part of the community, want their suggestions appreciated. That's what we want. If you're going to buy and look at the chart for the next month and wonder where it goes, you know what I mean? We respect you, we appreciate you, but you're probably going to sell before you get to see the glory that is Xtrack. So, right, if you're a tech guy, buy the token, use the tech, get paid by the rev share, and you'll be just fine.
Positive, a lot of positive comments in the DMs too about this one, and I know I've seen a few in the YouTube group when I've checked in, because sometimes people will drop me questions that are listening in there. But yeah, no, definitely, you know, one of your missions accomplished today. You know, I'm definitely a fan of what you're building. Going to try and connect you for that space there. Hopefully we can do tomorrow. You know, worst case, you know, if we need the extra week, we do it every Sunday. So we'll set it up for next Sunday or something. But, you know, we'll see what we can do just to keep, you know, momentum going. And honestly, I love the tools, man. I got to say, super clean demo. Really a lot of information. I'm going to have to go in there and use them a little bit more, test them out, get a feel for everything myself. But just like what you've showed us, like, again, I really liked it. And, you know, some of those categories of info and follower subs, just really, really unique. So yeah, really, really well done. You know, I'm kind of disappointed again. Buck wasn't here. He's on the road today, just because I know he would have loved this one as well. And he does get a little bit more hands-on with some of the tech. So I'll definitely be chatting with him about this. And yeah, like, really impressed by what you've built, and love some of the tools. So I know we have some questions that people were looking to get in, some suggestions. I told a few members of the community to wait until the end to throw their hands up. But if you guys want to go ahead and do so, you can take a couple of questions. Again, we're pushing that 2-hour mark. I do have to probably jump off shortly. I think Buck's probably going to be, he was going to visit his grandma today, and then he was coming down into the city to hang out for the night. So he might even be on his way down.
I know, I'm happy to answer some questions for you,
Yeah,
Maurice.
Willie,
And also,
I know Willie, I don't know if Willie's here, but go ahead. I'm just going to look for a question that somebody had sent earlier that I liked, if they're not here.
I was just going to say, I would love, right? Let's call it 1 month, right? I would love if you guys have an empty slot or something in a month, 45 days, whatever it might be, right? Got an open slot for an AMA. Bring us back on and see how much work has been done. Because that's where you're really like, wow, okay. Like, they were on just like a month ago and they got this, and that already in a month. Like, anybody that's hung out with us for like some time, right? Like a few weeks to a month, they see the progress and they're blown away. So yeah, if ever you have an open spot, bring us back on in like a month and a half. We'll blow your mind with what we've done in 45 days.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, I try, and my favorite thing in the space is continuity. You know, I try and show support to projects that come by, and the only thing I ask from their end, you know, stay active. And like I said, I don't care so much on the chart. I understand things go up and down. If you're there, you're delivering, and the tech is being built, like, that's what I care about. Charts are charts. That's not how I kind of follow or show support. But yeah, I'm happy to keep in touch, and I'm hoping to bring you guys back just to be able to show everything that you guys have done. And, you know, I think you guys are on that trend. You know, we've referenced a few of these other utility projects where it's just a matter of adoption and just a bit more time, I think. You know, Shield was a great example, and there's a few others in the space that come to mind that are high utility, very functional, add a lot of value, but the adoption just isn't there. The user base is just in the growth stage. And once, you know, it keeps delivering and you guys add more layers to your ecosystem, like, it could be fun, man. Like, again, you know, for around 200K, very impressive stuff from the tools and the, you know, just the cleanliness of the UI. So keep it up. Really impressed me. And I even shot a message to Caesar being like, this dude from Xtrack, it seems like the real deal. I was like, you know, you should chat with him a little bit more, and maybe even get one of the bots set up to test in the group or something going forward for people just to see. So
I would love that, because you guys have been around this space, right? You have experience, and I'm sure you have some good ideas yourself. And like, we're happy to cook them up. We really are. Like, if you got a good idea and you're like, yo, I'd love to see this, I'll get my dev on priority on that, right? If you guys got an idea, right? It's not like I have any preference or anything, but I'd like to show, if ever you did have an idea, how quick we actually cook it up and how fast we work. So yeah, that'd be great, man. I'm happy. Like I say, you guys have always been chads to me in my eyes, right? I hold my own opinions on certain people in the space, and my opinion's always been very good on Caesar, and it's improved even more today. I didn't know it could improve. I always thought the guy was an absolute chad, but this AMA has been great. You let us go on for like 2 hours. Solid guy, great questions. Community questions were also great. Always good to get those. And you even see some of the chads from the AMA here right now, just in the Xtrack discussion group, living it up. So I couldn't be more appreciative of you guys, and I am happy to take any call, answer any DM you guys got at any time. We are the real deal, my friend. I got Death Before Dishonor tatted on my chest, and I live by those words. So you got a real one here.
What's going on? So we'll get Ben Nova up here for a question. He's been around the community for a long time. I know Willie had a suggestion as well. So we'll see what they got. Vlad had sent me a couple that I have to go back and check. So Vlad, thanks so much as well for you filling in after you were up till like 2-3 a.m. last night with our AMA with Jam, coming back today and just crushing it for us. I don't know if Benova is connected yet. Oh, there he is. He just popped up to the top. So if he's ready, he can go. Then we'll go with Willie afterwards. If not, if Benova's having some connection issues, Willie, you can always jump in and take the lead, and we can just reverse the order. I just like to have good flow in the room. That's all. All right, Willie, you're up.
Works for me, boss. Okay, I'll do it real quick. I'm just going to hit you with one and not get into a bunch of stuff because I'm sure there's a bunch of hands up. And it's about your Twitter stuff, and it's sending you automatic updates and different things like that whenever tokens are doing different things and kind of alerting you to it. Have you guys thought about taking that a step further and adding like a buy button? So, the alert pops up and I don't have to do a whole bunch of stuff. I just click this button and then I hit this, maybe like another button and then I have it bought, and I'm good to go. And then I can just kind of at that point have it just alert me whenever different things are occurring that, are within different boundaries.
Yeah. So we're working on something called custom push notifications, which will allow you to set some different parameters, such as tweets and whatnot, a volume, liquidity. And if the project meets your parameters, we'll send you a push notification out on Telegram. Right now, what we got is we got this, right? And you're ready. You're essentially ready to buy right here, right? I haven't set up my Banana bot. This is my Tectonic account. But if this Banana bot was set up, clicking that little banana gun button would open up your preferred sniper, whatever one you pick, and you're ready to buy, right? You're ready to buy right now. You can click buy right here. I just don't have banana gun set up. But if it was set up, that's what those do. That's what that little button right there is, to instantly snipe. And like I say, we're building our own sniper, so we'll be taking it a step further, but I can't get into too many details because people like stealing ideas like a hot fudge sundae. So, but yeah, we exactly that, right? We are going to take it a step further, just exactly what you said. Click one single button and buy now.
Awesome, man. That's all I'm going to bring. I have some other stuff, but I'll save it for some DMs and stuff later.
Oh, yeah. Feel free, man. Hit me up in the DMs. I'm happy to even hop in a VC with you later if you want, man. I'm here to answer the questions. I love getting holders that are interested in the tech. Those are the holders we want.
Will do. Sounds good. Thanks, Maurice.
Willie, thanks again. I like the suggestion, and definitely good to know these guys are already building that out. Custom push notifications. Yeah, that's definitely really cool. And then, taking it a step further and simplifying, like we talked about it earlier, the less or the least amount of click-throughs during that process, step by step, the better. Not only for you guys, and because then you can start to leverage that to show more value to projects, give them more reason to advertise and use the Xtrack services and tools. And it's that domino effect you're looking to create. So awesome, Willie. Thanks so much for bringing that to light. But Nova, I don't know if your mic is Telegram's been super laggy this week, so it's not just you. We've had other speakers having issues, getting dropped and stuff. So let me know if your mic's working. You can take the floor. If not, I do have Two questions I think I wanted to drop from the list Vlad gave me that haven't already been covered. So, yeah, let me know, Benova, if you're good.
I'm good. I'm good, Maurice. Thank you very much.
Perfect.
Thank you very, very much for this
Jump on
opportunity.
in.
Yeah. Tectonic, you've done a great job, and I really love your project. It's been awesome, AMA all through. But I have one question. I don't know if Maurice really asked. Do you have like an extra earnings for people who have a verified account on Twitter? Do you have like something extra for them on your project? I don't know what I'm saying.
So we have a verified, like if you can see my screen right now, we do have a verified account screen, right? Just for browsing. But no, we don't necessarily attribute points to whether an account is verified or not verified, right? You get the alerts, whether they're verified or not. You'll see if they are verified, but no, we don't really have anything right now, whether a verified account or not verified account, because some unverified accounts are in fact alpha. Like we have a feature on our Telegram bot that allows you to see the first people who shield the coin, right? And if you look at some of the first people who shield a coin like Grok, for example, none of them have a verified account. So we don't really have a point system like that. What we're planning on doing, right, to see, for example, if a project is popular, right, who it was followed by the most or who it was tweeted by the most, and to try to give it a kind of point system, is we're going to actually rank the most profitable shillers on Twitter, right? We're going to see when they shill, compare it to the market cap, see how high the market cap goes. And we're going to start having a folder essentially, or a database of top gaining people on Twitter. And by having that, our information won't really matter if you're verified or not. I don't care if you got a blue check mark. What I care about is, do you make money? Because if you make money, then you're alpha. If you have a blue check mark, to me, not alpha, right? So that's the kind of data set that we're aiming to go towards, if that answers your question. Not so much verified, unverified, but who is actually making money. And we're going to put priority on those people.
Okay, that's nice. That's nice, and I really love the concept of, excluding the people that have the blue check mark from getting special, earnings from people that don't. And that's awesome. Thank you very much, Maurice, and thank you, Tech.
Yeah,
Tectonic
no,
for
thanks so much,
answering my
Benova, for jumping in with the question. You actually kind of brought up something else to me, just with your back and forth with Tech there, which is there's, you can rank them based on profitability, but there's a lot of people on, especially crypto Twitter or X now, who have a history of posting like a lot of rugs. I've seen them, a lot. I follow you, I guess better say, used to follow a few that had a history of actually posting like phishing links and stuff like that. What was the project? There's a project about 8 months ago. It was promoted all over Twitter, and it led to like, I think $3 million being drained out of people's wallets. So like, is there a who to avoid portion that you guys could build out in the future? Because that is always super important for new people, because on Twitter, I feel like the flash of a big account or a lot of followers sometimes lures people in, and it allows them to get away with stuff that a 5K person account never could. So
100%. No, I know exactly what you're saying, and 100% we're doing that, my friend. So like, if you shill a honeypot, that'll be negative 100 points on your score, my boy. You know what I mean? Like, if you're shilling straight up scams, like, we're going to have a ranking system. If you shill something and it does no volume at all right, sure. Maybe that's 0 points or negative 1 point, whatever, right? We have to think up of the point system, but it's going to be based on a point system. Like, you shill a honeypot, bro, minus 50 points. It's going to take you a long time of shilling good projects to recover from that one honeypot shill. Because in my opinion, if you have that kind of following and you're shilling a honeypot, that ain't no mistake. That's not a mistake. You're part of that scam. You're most likely part of that scam. You're most likely a cocksucker. So I have no problem putting a little cocksucker rank beside you on my tool. And I will. I'll definitely like, has 3 honeypots this month. I'll put a big bold warning, man. Oh yeah. Yeah, no. People are going to know whether they're good or whether they're bad. Oh, this guy has been this profitable, but, he shilled, 2 scams this month. Or he shilled, if it's a scam, there'll be a warning. If you shilled any scam at all, it'll be a warning. If you shill something and it does negative X's or it doesn't do nothing, that'll just be points deducted from your score. But if you shill anything straight scammy, we're going to let the world know about you.
Yeah, awesome. And yeah, no, I mean, you can't, like sometimes charts go up, charts go down, and, narratives die off, but then there's always that layer, right? If you peel it back and then you look at the blockchain and there's some suspicious activity, yeah, definitely important to call that out. And, I always say, Caesar's definitely called out some projects, some people who have been part of some shit, but, there's been a project or two that's come on here, looks good, and then, dies off, and it's not due to lack of research. Just sometimes shit happens, right? So it is always difficult to gauge how it happens or what happens after the fact, right? So I love that, and I think it will definitely keep some of these larger accounts who, like you said, are kind of farming their audience in check. Mm-hmm. So yeah, love it.
No, for sure. I completely disagree with people that do that kind of shit, right? Like a bit of background in my crypto. Like I started with NFTs. I was an NFT caller myself. I have a whole community that used to trust me and listen to me. I've never once taken any money for a call, and I've also never once used my community as exit liquidity or taken advantage of them. So I don't. I'm in the same boat as Caesar is, man. I've called out a few people myself, to be honest, right? I'm not the most loved person in the space on my main account. Few people don't like getting called out for being what they are, and I'm happy to call them out. So yeah, no, it'll all be labeled. If you're scamming, if there's proof of a scam, if there's something, we'll definitely add that kind of information. It just, like I say, it's a building process, right? It takes time. The things that you're talking about, it's not built in a day. But eventually, slowly but surely, you'll start seeing it be incorporated into our things, right? Maybe first we don't have the warnings, and then 2 weeks later, after the feature's been released, we build the warnings, and the warnings are there, and now we know. So, pretty much, like I said, you suggested it. It's going in the suggestion box, and now we're not going to forget it. So we eventually got to build it. That's it. That's how simple it is with us.
Yeah, no, I love your approach, and yeah, Twitter is definitely an interesting beast. It's one that frustrates me on the daily because it seems like quality is not the main substance that matters on that platform. And I'm like kind of a quality guy first. So like I struggle navigating the waters of X, to be 100% honest with you. I see people engagement farming projects all the time when I'm like, well, one, where were you at like 100K, 1 million, 2 million, 5 million, 10 million. Now it's 50 million. And this person every like 20 minutes is posting about this project to try and get reposted and then act like they were the reason that shit popped off. And I'm like, what? Right. So yeah, Twitter is an interesting place. And I think, again, just having more light brought to it, I guess would be the best way to put it, because you're not going to be out there like fudding people, but you're just like, hey, this is what happened, this is a fact. Like, that's
no fun. It's data. If my data fudges you, yeah. I'm not offended. I'm not sorry.
You. It's like that's what the numbers say. And
yeah, it's the facts, right?
Numbers don't lie. Yeah.
If you're someone that gets offended by facts, you should probably stop doing shady shit.
I do not disagree with that statement. And, somebody the other day when I was talking to them, they're like, I love your approach because, like, you don't really go after many people. They're like, but when you do, they're like, they used the word calculated when they were talking about me. They're like, you're very calculated. They're like, you do not just go out and FUD. You don't say shit. They're like, but if you come at somebody, they're like, I know I'm listening, because if you go at somebody, like, you're doing it because you have the facts to back it up. And I'm like, yep, pretty much, because there's otherwise you're just dealing in rumors and like gossip. And I feel like a teenager when you're doing that. Right. So no, I love what you guys are doing. There's a level of like kind of like blockchain detective feel and like responsibility that it's not the end goal. It wasn't how you built this out. I mean, it's meant to be for traders, but like there's so many different use cases that you can transition from tech once it's built, right? So that's what's exciting about this is, you have a lot built, you keep building. I said it earlier, I'll say it again. I even was talking to Vlad, who's helping out, like one of the best demos, one of the best presentations, in 2 years here on the channel. So big respect to you. You speak to the product very well and what you're building. So, with that being said, I will pass. Sorry. There's one question I wanted to get to actually, and then I was going to patch the mic for closing statements. This one's from Rabinho. So X has pretty weird terms of service when it comes to data scraping and whatnot. How do you plan to go around some of these terms of services when it comes to X and like user information, account information on X and scraping based on terms of service agreements?
I pay for the API access, and we're not, as far as I'm concerned, we're not breaking any TOS. So I'm not too worried about it. If the terms of service winds up changing, it'd be something we could revisit then. But as far as I'm concerned, everything is good to go on that aspect. And at the end of the day, right? Say it was for some reason, but as far as I'm concerned, it's not. Say we were for some reason breaking the TOS, right? It takes 2 seconds to buy another developer portal and set it up again. So, right, even if we were for some reason violating the TOS and like 6 months from now, they're like, oh, somewhere in this fine print of the TOS, we think you're violating this. Okay, well, we just set up another developer portal and run for another 6 months until they decide to shut off our service. The downtime would probably be less than 1 hour. So, we're not too worried about that. Elon Musk charges us $5,000 a month. I'm sure he'd rather get paid than remove us for some minor TOS violation that I don't even know if we're committing.
I mean, he definitely needs the money after paying $44 billion to buy that baby. So.
Yeah, and it being down like 90% on value, right? I think he's happy. I think he's happy taking the 5 bands a month and getting paid, right? I think it's more like if you're seriously, I've read through the TOS. As far as I'm concerned, we're not violating it. Some of it is like a gray area, but to provide what we're providing to people, I'll gladly walk in a gray area and cross the bridge when it comes to it, right? Because as far as I'm concerned, that bridge is creating another developer portal and seeing how long it takes them to see if we're breaking their TOS there or not. Because the TOS, there's some gray areas about it, right? Like the most basic thing could technically be violating Twitter's TOS, but we've looked and done the research and we feel that with the product that we have, we won't have any problem. We've seen some products and projects that do have problems, and we're not dabbling in anything that they're doing, right? It's usually like bot spam, right? If you're a botnet and you're using Twitter accounts to retweet, like, and reply, like that starts violating TOS. But, what we're doing, there might be a few gray areas, but I think we'll be just fine.
Yeah, and it seems like you guys, again, have thought it out. Your why has been good throughout the entire presentation. That was just the only question that was a little bit outside of the box, and I definitely wanted to touch on it because I know, with projects like you said, like Bob, for example, I mean, had good momentum, but then when their Bob reply bot or whatever got like shut down, it just kind of killed the project, right? So you're not doing anything. Yeah, exactly. You're not doing anything like that.
You're using AI, like that's in their TOS. You're using AI to reply to people to boost. Like that's, you can use automation to do what we're doing.
Essentially, AI feeder accounts is what I like to call them.
Yeah, so if you use that to reply to a bunch of people, first off, the reply is no bueno, right? What we're doing, we're just posting right to our main page what the trending tokens are. There's many people that do that, like even there's a lot of NFT pages and stuff like that. Oh, top 10 NFT projects, right? That's all good. When you start using AI to reply to people and stuff like that, that's when you start getting into like a little bit of, TOS violation. Doing what we're doing, like I said, there might be 1 or 2 gray rules, but 99.9% sure ain't no problems there.
Awesome. Well, again, I appreciate that. I think from my end, we did cover a ton. and I love the demonstration. So we will have to get you back. I'd love to see some updates in the future on what you guys have built over there. On the rev share, this one's just a quick one from Domsky. For the rev share, is it Is it all in Xtrack or ETH? How's the breakdown going to be on the
Ethereum? Everything we pay is in ETH because we don't want to hurt our own chart. We don't want to give a bunch of tokens out and have people just sell the tokens to take their cash. So the revenue share is paid out in ETH. The referral code program paid out in ETH. The revenue share is claimed once. You can claim it once a month. It's open for 14 days. If for any reason you don't have a large amount of revenue share and you don't want to claim, you don't have to claim. You can let it stack up. As long as you keep holding, you can just let it stack up and claim it whenever. It'll keep stacking up for you. So everything's automatic and paid out in Ethereum. Every way that you can make possible money with us in return is in Ethereum, not in token.
Awesome. I think that, let me see here. I'm just going to read through the couple last questions, but I think that was all the ones I wanted to get through. Oh, no, there's one from Ade. So his question is, when you guys release the sniper bot that you mentioned in the future, is it going to function cross-chain alongside the different chains that you have on the trending services? So a sniper bot alongside your ETH and a sniper bot alongside your SOL, essentially, is what he's asking.
Yeah, no, everything that we're building is going to be cross-chain. So the sniper bot as well. Yeah, that's why it's a little bit harder to build, because we're trying to have our sniper bot good to go for Solana, Ethereum, and another chain right off the jump. And then we'll start adding other chain support. But yeah, no, our sniper bot has a few features that nothing on the market has yet. So, and our aim is to be competitive, right? I'm not trying to compete with, I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, but I'm not trying to compete with the second tier bots of the market, right? I'm trying to compete with the best, right? In my opinion, that would be Banana. So I'm trying to compete with Banana. So that's like, I want my bot to out-bribe Banana's bot. And I think my dev can do it. So that's where we're going. Everything that we build, if the utility already exists, we aim to be competitive against a utility that already exists, and then remind people that the utility that we're competing against is one piece of our puzzle, and that whole project has built its whole project around that tiny little piece of utility, right? Everything we compete with is only a piece of our puzzle. We're building shit to compete with whole projects as like, here, yeah, my dev built that in 3 days. Oh yeah, Shield, oh, that's a great tool. Yeah, X-Ray, my dev built that in 5 days. 5 days it took the dev to build something that could completely destroy the top competitor in that area. So keep that in mind. You give us more time, we're just going to take your favorite utility, compete against it, destroy it, and then add it under our roof. And then it'll just be another piece of our pie.
I like it all in one shot. That's what you want to hear. So, great attitude, man. Great presentation from you. Really, my coordinator and I have been chatting, and yeah, he really loved the demo as well. Great stuff. I think you did have everybody very engaged throughout the whole presentation. So that for 2 hours and 15 minutes is not easy to do. So kudos to you and what you're building over there at Xtrack. And again, I'll pass you the mic just to officially close out one last time, but this will wrap the AMA up with Tectonic here from Xtrack. Really awesome AMA to kind of close out the week here. It's been a really solid week of AMAs, busier than even I kind of like. I want no more than one a day. Typically we had 2 yesterday, so it's a little bit busy. But yeah, it's been a great week and a strong closeout here from Tech and Xtrack. So I will give you the floor just to say your farewells.
Yeah, I just want to say thanks again to you and Caesar once again for having me here. Super appreciate the platform to be able to speak about the tech. I'm truly happy that I was able to keep you guys excited and captivated by the tech for the 2 hours that we talked about the AMA. Once again, if you feel like I didn't touch on a subject or you want to talk about something or you have any concerns, hit me up. I'm happy to answer anything, any single time, as long as it's Xtrack related and not you trying to sell me stickers. I'm making that very clear. So feel free to hit me up anytime about the tech. I hope we make a few holders out of you guys because we're going to be here building for the long term. Come and check us out yourselves. Your own eyes and your own heart can decide for yourselves that we are the real deal and we are a hardworking project. So I just hope that you can give us the time, give us a little look over, and in a week or so, we'll be talking about how you're an Xtrack holder. So take care. Super appreciate everybody once again, possible. And you guys all have an amazing weekend. Wish you well.
Amazing. Well, yeah, I can't wait to chat in the future. You know, we'll be in DMs about some of those spaces I mentioned. And yeah, I think, you know, myself, you know, I'm going to jump into the community, say what's up, and kind of get a, you know, personal feel for the tools a little bit better. But yeah, I mean, I said it early, like around 200K, you guys, for what you've said, the demonstration quality, like, you know, seems quite undervalued. So, you know, I definitely will be doing my